We're rolling.
Hey.
Welcome back, everyone.
Episode
91.
91.
Jiu Jitsu Dummies Podcast. Brought to you by Black Belt Digital Marketing. Anything you need to build your business, from websites, Google Ads, graphic design, we can absolutely help.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my,
I'm
wearing my uniform
Are
today.
you doing all them SEOs?
I do that SEO.
Oh,
we do
the
a little
SEO.
this, we do a little of that, you know. I actually had a meeting on the way down. We're not going to share that. I shared it with you. We're not going to share that meeting. But we'll kind of talk about that as we build the website.
Mysterious Milton.
Yeah, always.
Now he's bringing me into it. Because I know.
I'm in my uniform. This is what I wear.
That's the
shorts, underwear, and my polo.
You started your own company, so you turned your 9 to 5 into a 9 to 9, just 24/7.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu
But it's because it's for me and my family.
It's different.
It's different. It's not the same.
Yeah, you're working for you.
And my daughter's working for the company
Got
now,
it.
so
Shout out.
love it.
Keep it in the family.
Yeah, man. I was building a business, and what am I going to do with it? Am I going to sell it one day? I'm going to be 50. It'd be wonderful to build something. My daughter was not. She did not love her teaching career.
It's teachers don't get the amount of respect
that
they should. Man, my sister's a teacher.
But my sister and her fiance, he's also talking about leaving.
He's a teacher as well.
He's in the same district. He's also talking about leaving.
So he's doing the math right now.
He's still doing. He's back to school. I think if he found a better gig, he would probably move on. But
so he's weighing his options.
But she's part of the company now, and I'm loving it. I get to see my daughter.
That's
every single day.
Is she in South Florida?
We have a meeting every single day, 5 days a week, or Monday to Friday.
Is she in South Florida?
No, she's in Virginia. So I do a Zoom or we do a Google Meet.
That's dope.
Every day. So it's kind of like I finally get to see my daughter every day.
That's cool, man.
That had never happened in my entire life.
It's all good. It's happening. It's happening now, and you get to appreciate it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I always hope something like this would happen.
So the team is growing.
Yes.
Where do you go to check them out? Is it www.bbdigitalmarketing.com?
I'm gonna hit that right now.
It's
BB Digital. What'd you say?
www. Digital marketing.
Yeah, you don't have to do the W's.
You don't?
bbdigitalmarketing.com. On Instagram, it's Black Belt Digital Marketing. It's so hard to not say the at. At Black Belt Digital Marketing. You can find us on LinkedIn. If you're a business owner, you can check us out there. Obviously, again, Instagram, Facebook. Pretty much everywhere.
This is what you do.
Black Belt Digital Marketing, you find us.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're preferred. Are you on Yelp?
Yes. We have a
That's so
Yelp.
awesome.
So
I'm going to go leave a Yelp review.
please, it helps.
Tacos were crap. My company's doing great.
So you could request a free online review. This is kind of our claim to fame, is we do this, we kind of scrub your online presence.
Yep.
We do this full review of like your listings, your SEO, your website itself.
Right.
We focus around, for a local business, we focus around their Google business profile to help that get found more, get more people either calling, walking through the door, making reservations.
It's like that Nissan 214-point inspection you get on their certified pre-owned.
Yeah, and you get to see my little pretty face in the video when when I send you the review.
Is it that old picture that's on that computer?
No, you get to see
a new
this
one?
ugly mug. No, you get to see me talking on the screen.
You should hit him with a young one every once in a while.
Right?
Little Milton.
I have a client who has an employee who likes us to use a picture. It's like from 30 years ago.
Yeah.
But like 30 years ago, it was still like, digital cameras. He looks like an old man.
Yeah.
Legit old man.
Yeah.
And, he looks like a grown man. Like, dark hair, gray hair,
Yeah.
And I'm like, you realize, like, you're asking me to use this and everything.
He's catfishing.
Yeah.
He's catfishing.
And I'm just, and finally, I think they kind of got him to come around to like, we should just use your real picture. Plus, it's just not like the best picture.
It's not a good way to start a relationship either. You know what I mean? You're gonna trust me. I'm gonna trust you with my money. I want to know what you look like.
There you go.
I don't want that.
I'm Milton Campus, brown belt, training out of South Florida. Got Bo behind the camera.
Hola.
Miguel riding shotgun. Shout out to our booking manager, Britt.
What's up, Britt? Doing them wrestling moves out there, huh? You see her? She's doing Hell in the Cell.
Yeah.
Freaking wrestling on Legos.
The other day.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, y'all.
Very cool, Britt.
Y'all got my vote of approval. I'm a wrestling fan.
Don't forget to
ties into this episode.
Comment, share, click that subscribe button.
Do it all. Support us.
We would really appreciate it. Yes, everything that he just said. Joining us shortly is blue belt Brandon Reed. Now, do not be fooled by, it's a blue belt today.
Mm-hmm.
He's a 3-time national wrestling champion.
That's right.
And he is the
That's right.
2021 NAIA Wrestler of the Year.
Yeah.
So he's a serious dude. And he trains under...
He's just
Chewy.
under Jiu-Jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu. Everybody knows Jiu-Jitsu. So the guy's a serious dude. Just you hear blue belt and you might go, oh, why they got a blue?
No, he's one of those blue belts.
Yeah. No, he's the blue belt you do not want to see at your local
he's the
new
guy,
breed.
You know when they do those like YouTube prank videos where they like bring in they bring in that dude and they just like they tie his belt wrong.
This is the guy you definitely don't want to see him standing across from you on the mat. But Brandon will be joining us shortly. We really appreciate him coming out. A few more quick shout outs. Thank you to our friends over at Flow and Roll. Easy for me to say, right?
Yeah, Flow and Roll.
Hands down, the best custom gi and no-gi gear in the business. Don't believe us? Visit their Instagram at flow_and_roll. Yeah. Check out all their custom designs. They've done stuff for academies all over the country at this point. Yep. Lot of it here in South Florida.
Hey, guess what? I caught my coach wearing a black belt competition white stripe from Flow and Roll.
From Flow and Roll?
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. There you go.
I caught him. I said, you use code JJD to get 20% off, man?
Yes, please.
And he said...
Remind them.
He didn't.
He didn't? I see.
Pero he's still wearing it.
That's good.
That's for
good.
you, Sean.
Support.
Your stuff's getting out.
We appreciate the support. Is that Adrian?
Yeah, Adrian.
Coach
Adrian.
Adrian. Thank you, Coach Adrian. They have a special running right now. He's still doing it where like you buy 25 gis, get 25 patches, 50 gis, 50 patches, so on, right?
Right, yeah.
We were talking about it, and they're not just giving you the patches. He's sewing them on the gis for you. So you're going to order 25 gis and get 25 patches sewn onto those gis. I mean, that's a freaking deal. That's like it adds to the cost.
Can you order it and have all 25 patches sewn on one gi? So
I don't know.
Like
we'll let Sean listens. 90s. Sean, this is what's funny is Sean listens. I'm gonna get a text like 2 days after we air or we launch, and he'll be like, "No, I won't put all 25." Yeah. Like he'll just send
you remember the gis from like Mundials, like 2003? It was just like
NASCAR.
Everywhere. Hey, Sean, Hey, please, bro. I need a white gi, old school, with like the bad boy eyes across the butt, and then like Hayabusa.
He might actually have.
Please just make me one of those. Dude, I love those gis so much, and they almost like the gi pants were like almost like not bell bottoms, but like bigger. Boot cut. They would just come straight down.
My coach gave me a lot. My first coach gave me a lot of his old gis.
American flag on the back.
They were like very everything.
Bro, I need American flag.
I love those.
Eagle.
Yeah.
Yeah, Budweiser. Red, not light.
So
Red Bull.
Let's talk real quick before we go any further. They still run that pre-order program.
Right.
You can be any size academy. You don't want to lay out all the money for the next 100 gis that you need to keep stock in your gym. Get with him on his pre-order program. You do not lose anything. You get everything you need, minimal, out of pocket.
Yep.
You will get the profits from any gis that he sells online, or you could put that towards your actual order. And have laid out just a few $100s. I mean, sometimes when he tells me the numbers, I'm just like, how is this guy making money? But I get it. Your stuff would be online. Your student's going to order it, get it shipped to their house. You're still he's charging what you would charge at the gym, and you're getting that money. Yeah. He gets whatever you agree upon,
you know how they
whatever
say
the
that
price
down
per gi is, and then you get the rest.
You know how they say that?
No, what is it?
Yeah.
There you go.
That's it.
So check him out. Reach out to Sean again at flow_and_roll on IG. You can email flowandroll at gmail.com. And don't forget that they still have our podcast on the site.
Yep.
You can check it out at flowandroll.com. You get 20% off with code JJD.
That's right. Also, if you're around any of the South Florida tournaments, I catch him all the time. Like he goes to the White Line promotions. Yeah. He goes to the Fight to Wins. He goes to the IBJJFs that come down here, the Nagas, the New Breeds, the American Fighting.
What he said.
Yep, all them.
All right.
He does that.
So, again, thank you, Sean, for all the support. And thank you to the BJJ box as well. They are Jiu-Jitsu's favorite monthly subscription box. It's delivered to your door filled with premium Jiu-Jitsu and grappling apparel. We do have a new box that we're going to unbox later in the show. supplements, so, different jiu-jitsu supplies, snacks, recovery items, tons of different
strengthening
stuff.
items.
They find the best products in the world of jiu-jitsu, and then the guarantee is that you're definitely going to pay less for the box, right? The box is going to be worth more than what you pay.
Right.
We've got
I got
t-shirt.
this.
Okay, so what is this? This is in today's box. So you did put
says
it on.
something that I get caught in all the time at my gym.
Heel hooker assassin.
Yeah.
All right. So you get the VIP box.
What if this fades off?
Hooker assassin.
You want me?
You got that. We got to. We'll go over it during the mid episode.
The opening, yeah.
You got the VIP box is what we get. There are other boxes.
There's tiers.
You could do a different tier, and there's one I think that they do quarterly, and it includes a rash guard.
Yeah.
So like there's different. There's like kind of different products that you can buy.
Customizable.
So again, each box includes between 4 and 7 items. You're absolutely going to love them. Use coupon code JJD10 for $10 off your first order. All right.
Primera.
So again, cool stuff coming later in the episode.
That's right.
All right. Thank you to the folks over at Neutral Zone. All right. So now, if you've been watching the show, you watch any of our episodes, right? There are 2 Neutral Zone websites and companies. So we have
You're not
Neutral
seeing double,
Zone
folks.
Clean and Neutral Zone CBD. The Neutral Zone Clean products do not have CBD
no
in
CBD.
them. They share a name, and that's about
That's it.
right? So their new product, the website has been launched. Black Belt Digital Marketing did the website. It's neutralzoneclean.com.
It's like
and
checkers.
Neutral Zone Clean on Instagram as well, Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, it's like checkers and rallies.
There
You know what I mean?
Okay. So
same but different. But still same.
I said that it's checkers and rallies. What? So again, so the Neutral Zone Clean products, we have the spray, we have wipes, and then we have a refill. You could also use that refill to kind of wet the wipes if they dry up a little bit, which they shouldn't.
Dude,
but
those wipes don't need wetting.
Yeah, they don't.
They come super
wet.
There's
actually, if you go to the website, there's the big tub for the gym, right? So you could actually use this to wet it more.
I gotcha.
Right? So check out the website. Lots of cool stuff. They've got what you have here. They do them in packs. You can order a 6-pack of the canister. You can get a combo of the wipes and the spray. Yeah. Lots of cool stuff.
You still doing Gorillas in the Mist? No? Are you back to it?
I spray myself and I wipe myself down after every jiu-jitsu, after every class.
Oh, it's live.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Man, and it smells great.
You can get 15% off with code
JJD.
JJD.
I like that we're going back to the OG JJD.
At neutralzoneclean.com.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
It works for both sites.
Yeah. And so now let's talk about the CBD as well. They've been supporting us for the last 5-6 months, right?
Yeah.
neutralzonecbd.com.
Love it.
Right? I kept this here.
I'll never be able to join the FBI.
I've been...
because
he did say that,
because
right?
of the CBD,
Can't use CBD products.
Yeah.
Love the gummies. Love the tinctures.
Yep.
And
I never got. I never got.
This is over here because I've been using it before. Yeah. And during the show, this really I get just tension headaches because I'm like this all day at work, right? So put this on. It pretty much goes away almost immediately. I guess that hot. I don't want to say another brand, but right, like that. That hot feeling, right? So
where it's cold and then hot.
Yeah, I get it. This is my favorite. Again, I kept it here for a reason because I'm going to need it during the show. I'll put it on again.
Ladies and gentlemen, he uses it.
Yeah.
On the show.
But on this one, it's 25% off.
JJD.
With code JJD at neutralzonecbd.com.
That's right.
All right, guys.
And there's a link, I'm sure, between the sites.
Please support companies supporting the jiu-jitsu industry, the jiu-jitsu world, and the owner trains. His son trains. His son also wrestles.
Yep.
Mike and his son, Chase, they both train jiu-jitsu.
Wife is Candy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
These two companies are run by people in our world. They could use our support. Let's,
and the stuff
put in an order something, try it out. And again, you're going to send us a receipt. Even if you buy one bottle, you buy one canister of wipes, but you're going to be entered into the $250 raffle that we're doing. So send us your receipt. Send us a copy of your receipt. Redact your credit card number. We don't need to see it. And and we're gonna put you in that raffle. And you got a good shot at winning a rash guard from our Flow and Roll Jiu-Jitsu Dummies rash guard, the Jiu-Jitsu Peace Love Jiu-Jitsu rash guard. We're probably going to put some T-shirts in there from both companies and patches and mug. You're going to get lots of cool stuff. There's definitely going to be a keychain. And definitely a keychain. There's so many keychains. So check them out. Again, neutralzoneclean.com, neutralzonecbd.com.
This stuff saved my life the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yes.
Good?
We're really good.
Okay. All right.
I'm excited.
Let's rock and roll. Let's get Brandon in here. Let's do this, Bo.
Okay.
Hey, Brandon. How you doing, man?
I'm amazing. How are you guys?
Good, good. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome.
So pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
We're gonna jump right in and let's truly start from the beginning. Tell us how you got your start in wrestling, and then we're gonna obviously, talk about how you got into jiu-jitsu.
For sure. Yeah. So I was 13 years old, turning 14, and I was trying out for the football team at my high school. So it was that summer right before I would start my freshman year of high school, if that makes sense.
Out of 8th grade.
I was going to the football tryouts, and I was just, big, lazy, out of shape, and I wasn't really practicing hard or anything. So my coach, the head coach at the time, kind of just sat me down on the bench and was like, "Hey, you should just watch practices. I don't think this is right for you. You should just you're probably not going to make it. Just, if you don't want to stay, you don't have to, but most likely not going to even have you practice anymore because we have a ton of guys on the team. You're not really doing anything." And he was right. I was being a shitty little fat kid. And so I didn't really deserve it to be it. But yeah, I was pretty sad. I was bummed out. And as I was leaving, the defensive coordinator, Gary Cole, he was the head wrestling coach of Iroquois High School where I was going. And he was like, "Hey man, you're really fat. Do you want to lose weight?" As I was leaving, and I was like, "Sure. I don't really have anything better to do." He's like, "Have you ever
I just got cut from the football team."
Yeah, exactly. And so I was like, you know what? Yeah, I felt kind of shitty about myself. You're like a insecure kid coming into high school. You're like, whatever, I need to change. And I was getting kicked off the football team was a great way, to push me. So he was like, "Yeah, you want to come to wrestling practice? We do it right after the football practices." So it's technically not called practice during the summer. If you wrestle in high school, it's like conditioning or open mats.
Freestyle season.
Yeah, exactly. So he was like, "You can come, and we're just doing conditioning right now." He's like, "We're not going to get on the mats, but we're just doing conditioning." He was like, "Do you know what wrestling is?" I was like, no idea. It was like, "Okay, it's like WWE," but he was fucking with me. He was completely fucking with me. So I was like, cool. I really like this guy named Ryback because when I was a kid, I loved the WWE. So I was like, oh shit, I like
Who
Ryback.
doesn't, man?
He wears a cool little singlet. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go. And then I went, and the very first day, which was immediately after I'd gotten kicked off the football team, we ran stairs where it was like three, I don't know how to explain it, like 3 flights of stairs, I guess.
Yeah.
So maybe took like 30 seconds to get up and down it. They were small, but he shut the doors to the stairs, and he was like, "All right, we're going to run this for 30 minutes. It was me, a guy named Samim, Ansar, and Belai. So there was like 4 of us. And I just met these guys. We never really talked before this, and we just started running. And then I died. And after the practice, he was like, "Hey guys, get on the scale." And I was like, "Get on the scale? Like, why do I have to get on the scale?" And he was like, "You just want to see how much weight you lost." And I was like, I'm not going to lose weight in one day. What the fuck? But I knew I was dead. I knew I was tired. I didn't really know what water weight was at the time. But after running on the stairs for like 30 minutes, I lost like 8 pounds of water.
Wow.
And I was like, oh shit, this is really, really cool. Like, whoa, like I'm not going to be a fat kid anymore if I keep doing this. And honestly, after that day, I just kept wrestling. I was like, this is cool. I want to get fit, and this is a great way to do it. And yeah, that's how I started wrestling.
Yeah. Did you now, when you actually started getting into like drilling and things like that, did you still feel the same way? Or was it more of like, oh shit, what did I get myself into?
Yes. No, dude, I loved it. I was obsessed. The very first takedown I learned was just like a basic blast double, which I can't do now because my neck is kind of messed up from wrestling so long. But I learned the basic blast double, and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And I was the biggest guy in the wrestling room, like in my practice room. So it was pretty easy to blast double everyone. And I was like, this is the coolest shit ever. I want to keep doing this. And by the time real practices started, I'd already lost like 25, 30 pounds because it was about like 2.5 months before we were allowed to do actual team practices. So I was in pretty good shape and pretty good wrestling shape at that point before I even touched the mats.
How much did you weigh when you started from that? When you left the football field and you started training?
I was about 275.
Wow.
Yeah, I was about 275.
You're a big boy. How tall are you?
Yeah.
How tall are you now?
5'11".
You're 5'11". Okay. How tall were you back then? Were you already tall?
Probably similar, 5'10",
275 that's a big boy
chunky.
for 8th grade.
Yeah.
I was chunky. So but yeah, then like I said, almost immediately by the time like my freshman year actually started, like after that summer was over, I was probably around 245, 250-ish. And I was still a bit chunky, but a lot leaner than I used to be. And so the basic drilling that we were doing, especially because we had a bunch of new guys, I mean, it wasn't super hard. It was a lot of, heel toe knee, shots, sprawl and crawl stuff, like really, really, really basic wrestling stuff. But we just did it every day. And I loved it. I was addicted to it. I was like, this is the coolest thing in the world. Like I said, I love the blast double.
Did the swag change? Did you kind of like the way you started to carry yourself change immediately?
Yeah, that 100%. I was still, I think I was still a bit insecure, like right at the beginning. As like the season had went on, by the end of that season, I was pretty confident.
How was your first season?
Oh, it was shitty. I went 4-14. I remember the number. Like that's the exact number. I went 4-14 that season. It was a horrible season. But I think, I think I'm really lucky to have the mentors I had because I've never I never really cared about like winning or losing. I want to win, I don't want to fucking say I love winning, but like if I lost, I was like, whatever. Like,
where was this? What part of the country are you in? The same part of the country that you're in now?
Yeah, Kentucky. So I'm from Louisville, which is about an hour and a half away from where I'm currently at, which is Lindsey Wilson College, where I graduated. It's where I won nationals and whatnot. And I'm a volunteer assistant coach here, and I'm getting my grad degree here. So, but yeah, I've basically been in Kentucky my whole life.
Oh wow, okay.
That's
now we're gonna jump forward a little bit, but is Chewy in Kentucky?
Yeah, he's in Louisville. Yeah.
Okay, so you're that's your home gym.
Yeah, that's my home gym. So I lived in Louisville. So I was training with Chewy for about a year and a half back in Louisville, but I just moved back to college to start my master's degree. Chewy is actually one of my bosses, so I do like some social media marketing stuff for Chewy.
Okay.
But he's like, he's my number one mentor. One of the guys I consider one of my best friends. He's a really great dude. I mean, I can't say enough good things about him.
So did you know him before you started training jiu-jitsu with him?
Yes.
You were working for him?
Yeah, no. So now I started working with him actually after I left.
Okay.
So that's kind of a story in itself. But the guy who I lived with kind of adopted me in high school. The guy who became a new wrestling coach, he trained jiu-jitsu. He was like a blue or purple belt when I met him, and now he's a brown belt under Chewy. So I had known Chewy for a long time. Partially like just I'd see him here and there, and I'd go roll jiu-jitsu like here and there for a couple of years. But I never was like there consistently. I'd be like there once or twice a year just because I'd be visiting Louisville or I
feel like Chewy would be like, hey man, I got a fucking wrestler coming in to wreck you guys, to kind of show you guys what's what.
Blast double. Blast double the whole gym.
Yeah, literally. But then, after I graduated college, I guess a year and a half ago, I moved back to Louisville and I started training basically full time at Chewy's gym. I became the full-time wrestling coach at Chewy's gym. So my full-time job was doing wrestling privates, doing seminars, and then working for Chewy. And then I just recently started doing like some social media stuff for Chewy. But yeah, his gym is an awesome gym, man. It might not be the most like known gym, but it's high level.
I say it's pretty well known.
In
the jiu-jitsu community.
I guess. Well, like I didn't know that he was in Kentucky, but I know I follow him on social media.
Yeah.
I listen to the podcast on occasion. I know who he is.
Yeah,
I know what happened, like on Facebook and him getting rid of the Facebook page. Yeah. Like I remember, like that craziness about his page.
I'm a subscriber. I like them especially as a young white belt.
That far back?
Yeah. It's actually one of the first people I found because he was one of the only ones who would like actually have like a thing where he was answering real questions and not just like projecting.
Oh, you as a white belt.
Yeah, me as a
you know Chewy from white belt.
No. I've been watching him since I was a white. Like I found him like early on when I started doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like I liked him because he would always like read real questions and answer like real topics and not make it super high level. And
it was also, it wasn't always just about moves. It was about like culture.
Etiquette,
culture in the gym and like etiquette. I definitely enjoyed that stuff because I was in a gym with that was just newly open, so it was like me and my coach most of the time for like the first couple of months. And we'd have a student come in on occasion. But yeah, like seeing his
and
videos
and
be like, oh, that's what it's supposed to be like. Okay, I'm not supposed to do that.
And when he was competing, I believe it was last year or the year before that, when he like decided to do like, I believe it was when opens were in Orlando. It was like when Florida was the only one doing anything.
Yeah.
And like he just like, I'm changing my diet to this, and then like he actually like did it, and then like talked about it every day, and then like showed you like metrics and results, and like, hey, listen, this is hard work, but you could do it. You know, like
I mean, and just and then just the awesome logo and name and
he's also seems
with the branding behind that's just fucking awesome.
And are you reaping the benefits of coaching in that gym and then also working in that gym and going to that gym? Like I mean, have you seen like a fast progression in terms of like how do you match up with other blue belts there? You know what I mean, like that?
Yeah, I mean,
I
feel like I match up. But it's I don't. So I'm lucky that I have so I just moved to start my master's degree, so I'm no longer in Louisville with Chewy. I still work for Chewy. I still talk to Chewy every week. We text every day because I have to do stuff for him online. But while I was there for like the year and a half I was there, I mean, the training was awesome. I mean, we probably had 20, 21, 22 black belts, probably 30 brown belts, countless purple and blue belts. And white belts didn't really go into our like advanced practices, so I never really rolled with too many white belts except for like one or two guys who might have like wrestled or did some other athletic sport before. But no, I mean there were some really tough blue belts at that gym. I mean, lots of the guys were MMA fighters. They have like a big MMA program there. But yeah, definitely like of course like with the wrestling background that I have, and with the fact that Chewy was also a wrestler who came to jiu-jitsu. Lots of my jiu-jitsu style is like very like smash and passy, and but I also love bottom and stuff. So Chewy, he helped give me like my base for jiu-jitsu and helped me really translate it my wrestling into jiu-jitsu things. So I feel like I do pretty freaking good against most blue belts, I would say.
Where are you training now?
Of course. So I train at 13 Jiu-Jitsu. It's actually the OG gym that I started training at in college. So I started training. My last wrestling season was last year, 2021, and it ended in March. Like the week later, I was like, okay, I got to start doing jiu-jitsu before I go back to Louisville, because I knew I was going to go back to Louisville and train with Chewy, but I had a few months before I graduated college. So I went to 13 Jiu-Jitsu, which is the only one, in this small town Kentucky area. It's about 30 minutes away. And I train with a guy named Patches. But it's really small, pretty new, pretty brand new, mostly white belts, and there's Patches and a couple blue belts, but it's an awesome gym, awesome, training, awesome instruction, just a bit small,
Yeah.
So are you just going to be where you are now just till you finish your degree, and then will you move back to Louisville?
So I don't know. So
let me say it right, Louisville.
Yeah, Louisville.
I'm from New York. Hey, Louisville. How you doing?
Yeah.
Isn't Louisville like on the state line, and there's like another Louisville on the other side of the other state?
Louisville, Kentucky, and then I don't know. Is there?
No.
What am I thinking of? There's like a city that's like that.
Kansas City.
Really?
Kansas City?
Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas City, Kansas.
Something like that. Yeah.
I think you're
right.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah, because it's like Louisville, and then there's like New Albany and Jeffersonville, Indiana, and then obviously like if you go different parts of the state. But no, I don't really know what I'm gonna do, because like I said, my own platform is growing. I'm getting a little bit better at marketing myself, and so I'm figuring out a lot of things. It's like after I graduate college, what do I want to do? Do I just want to go 100% into the business side of things, which realistically is kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm way more focused on the business side of what I'm doing than the jiu-jitsu competition side, because, coming from where I'm coming from, like I know I'm not in the environment to make a run at Worlds or ADCC, right now. So I'm training, but I'm not really focused on the competition. So, but with that, it's the first time I've taken a break from competition and just focused on the business stuff. And it's going so well right now that, man, who knows, a year and a half from now, I could, I could just be running my business only and maybe not competing, but I'm really not sure. Yeah.
Training for stress relief.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are you going to school for? What's your degree?
So I have a bachelor's degree in human services and counseling, but I'm getting my master's. It's an MBA, so a master's in business administration and project management. But really, I mean, a lot of people are like, "Why did you get your master's? Like, you already have a business. You're already doing what you're doing. I'm already making money from my own stuff." But it was a great opportunity for me to come back to school and coach college wrestling. And that sounds, sounds ridiculous, but wrestling is my passion. And they didn't have a spot open on the wrestling team for like coaches, like a paid position. So I was like, damn it, I need to find a way to go back to my school that I love. So I called up my old boss, Mike, here for public safety, and they had a GA position, which is a graduate assistant position open, where I would work like 8 to 12 every day, part-time type of job. And they'd pay for my master's and pay for my room and board. And then in the afternoon, I could do jiu-jitsu and I could also coach wrestling, like assist coach wrestling, as a volunteer assistant coach for the wrestling team. So me coming back here allows me to get my degree, which is like, that's, it's whatever. I'm honestly not here for that. But more honestly, like I'm here for like the experience of the wrestling coaching, because I have so much to learn, besides the technique, there's just so much more behind it than that. So that's the real reason I came back here.
And when you've talked about your business, am I just assuming that it's like what I've seen on your social media and like you're starting to put out videos and I think hand fighting was the last one that I saw, right? Like you're talking about hand fighting techniques and things like that. That's the business side that you're talking about.
Yeah, that, and I have in-person training that I do. So last year, like I said, I was a wrestling coach at Chewy's place, but I also had my own business of like, I was doing private wrestling lessons in Louisville. And so I probably had 20 to 30 lessons, in-person lessons a week. And that was like my hands-on business.
Dang.
And that's the one that like, when I go back home or wherever I go, I know I'm going to end up in a big city again, because you have to be in a big city to really like have that flourish. In Louisville was going great. So I have my in-person private lessons, which are 1-on-1s, 2-on-1s, etc. And I do like seminars, which this year I probably did like 10, 15 purely wrestling seminars at wrestling schools. And then, yes, I have the online stuff, which is just starting. It's really cool because it's almost been a year of me posting every single day. It took almost a year for me to make any money, posting every single day. And now like I'm actually selling stuff and building an email list and stuff. So hopefully that also grows. Hopefully by the time I graduate here, I have a giant email list. I've built a relationship with the people that,
That's
that
awesome.
I'm sharing to, and I'm giving value, and hopefully, that can produce well for me too.
You're training at, or we're training at one of the best gyms to probably get that additional instruction. Following Chewy's roadmap isn't the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
No, it's not at all.
Yeah.
He is my biggest mentor.
Yeah.
Have you taken any like things that you've learned in jiu-jitsu throughout the years, even on and off, that you now like you've taken and teach in the wrestling side of your curriculum to a wrestler?
It's tough because like due to the rule set of wrestling, I mean, as you know, it's very difficult to translate jiu-jitsu into wrestling.
Mostly goes the other way, right? It's usually
right. It mostly goes the other way. Like,
and
but that's why I like the question. Though, like what?
So like in freestyle, there's like this popular video that people just keep spamming and reposting of this guy. He's a U.S. wrestler and he's wrestling another, like it's like a U.S. competition, I think for like maybe Worlds or something like that.
Yeah.
And he pretty much triangles the guy with his arm. He like anacondas the guy to essentially.
Oh yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it's completely legal in freestyle because you're under an arm, under a head, and you're allowed to clasp hands. Whereas in folk style, as soon as you hit the mat, you can't do anything. But like still like, and also when you get beyond collegiate level, you start thinking Olympic level. And Olympic level is Greco-Roman, it's freestyle. So you're not really focused on folk style wrestling. Now you're focusing on like these alligator death rolls.
Where do you focus, Brandon? What's
so all throughout, like, so I've been wrestling for almost like 11 years. I've done Greco, freestyle, and folk style. So I went, if any like high school wrestlers, listen or whatever, like I've been to Fargo. I placed at Fargo in both Greco and freestyle.
That's impressive.
Obviously in high school, I placed in folk style nationals in high school. And then obviously college is folk style. So I won nationals 3 times in folk style. Got 4th one year, and I didn't really do any freestyle or Greco in college. But I think jiu-jitsu definitely helps with my scrambling for sure, and my awareness of where I can get hurt, because I'm lucky. The gym I went to, like, we had like lots of classes based around like leg locks specifically, and when you get into lots of different scrambles and like folk style wrestling specifically, lots of us don't know where our knee is, or like where our leg, like, we might be doing some funny funk roll and then pop your LCL or pop your ACL because you don't know, like, hey, I probably should turn this way when this guy starts to move me this way. And I think my body awareness has just gotten so much better since I started doing jiu-jitsu. And it's something I wish more wrestlers did, is because, I've seen so many. I got hurt because when I was in college, because I turned the wrong way when a guy took a shot. Which just seems funny, but it was basically like the guy heel hooked me without doing the heel hook.
Yeah.
And it popped my knee.
Thank you to Feito IT and AV, specializing in commercial and residential automation, security cameras, CCTV, POS, and more. Check them out at feitoitav.com or call 305-428-2515 and let them know the dummy sent you. Thank you to Neutral Zone CBD, a combat family-owned company that supports athletes and the people who love them. Neutral Zone strives to deliver clean CBD products for sports recovery in gummies, lotions, balms, roll-ons, and more. After a competition, a hard rolling session, or a tough day on the job, Neutral Zone has a product designed to help you reduce inflammation, increase cell rejuvenation, and may even help with aging joints. Visit neutralzonecbd.com and get 25% off your order with code JJD. And follow them on Instagram too, at MyNeutralZone. Neutral Zone is combat family owned, so they know you need to keep yourself and your equipment clean. They created Neutral Zone Clean wipes and sprays for just that purpose. Neutral Zone products are formulated to reduce the risk of bacterial and fungal infections. Whatever's making you sweat, weight training, rolling on the mats, yard work, or just working around the house, Neutral Zone Clean wipes and sprays can make you feel and smell refreshed. Use code JJD to get 15% off your online order at neutralzoneclean.com. While you're there, sign up for their newsletter to receive the latest info and updates on product launches like their new shower gel and soap bar coming soon. Are you Neutral Zone Clean? Jiu-Jitsu's favorite monthly subscription box has now joined the Jiu Jitsu Dummies Podcast. The BJJ box is delivered to your door filled with premium jiu-jitsu and grappling apparel, equipment, supplements, supplies, snacks, and more. The crew at the BJJ box find the best in the world of jiu-jitsu and guarantee every box to be worth more than the cost. Each box includes 4 to 7 items you're going to love. Visit thebjjbox.com and use code JJD10 to get $10 off your very first box. And give them a follow on Instagram at thebjjbox. Special thank you to the crew over at Flow and Roll for all their support. Flow and Roll is renowned for their incredible no-gi rash guards, shorts, and leggings. Flow and Roll has quickly become the premier custom apparel provider for academies big and small throughout the United States. Reach out today to discuss your custom order and ask about their incredible pre-order program. You can send an email to flowandroll@gmail.com or visit their Instagram at flow_n_roll and shoot them a direct message. And yes, they can create an awesome custom gi for your academy as well. Visit flowandroll.com to check out their awesome designs, and while you're there, pick up a Jiu Jitsu Dummies signature tee exclusively at flowandroll.com. And remember, you'll get 20% off your purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or gis with code JJD.
Are you like an advocate amongst your wrestlers to try jiu-jitsu? Are you somebody that's hey, come on over, come to a class?
No, fuck no. I go in there every day and I choke the shit out of them. I was just there earlier today. Yeah. I go in there, I practice with them every day.
Yeah.
You think it would help with pins? Like not only pinning, like driving a half, because driving halves in jiu-jitsu isn't very functional. But I'm just saying, like, my wrestling has helped me get out of pins in jiu-jitsu. But if I knew how to get out of some of these pins from jiu-jitsu when I was in wrestling, I feel like, because sometimes you end up in like a pseudo like half guard when the guy's trying to pin you.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, I did that today.
And like when you're there, like there's jiu-jitsu ways of getting out and fighting for underhooks and stuff like that.
Yes.
But in high school, they're just like bridge, you know, just like
it's not technical. Yeah. No, that's so funny that you said that, because I had this exact moment. We were drilling, kind of doing like a flow wrestling, so it's like kind of like sparring, but like kind of like 50% with my friend Carlos. He's one of the wrestlers here. And he was taking me down, and he was like trying to put me in a half as we were just drilling. And I just literally just framed, and then I went in and got the underhook and did a John Wayne sweep on him. And I was like, he was like, "What the fuck was that?" I was like, "It's a John Wayne sweep. It's from jiu-jitsu." And I pinned him. And I was like, "Yeah, you can do." I could say like, you can do silly shit. From jiu-jitsu that actually does really work in wrestling if you can time it well. You know. But
Felipe calls that the lever sweep.
The lever sweep.
Yeah, the John Wayne sweep, when you pinch your knees and you.
Oh, that's the John Wayne sweep.
Yeah,
I was like, I've never heard it called John Wayne sweep.
Yeah.
It's called that, the lever sweeper. Yeah, there's a lot of names for it, but yeah, it's very effective.
Yeah, it is, and it's cool. That's what I love. That's what I love about jiu-jitsu for wrestling, is the sweeps are probably the most translatable thing, because if you're off your back at least a little bit, you have a chance of pinning the other guy if you know how to do jiu-jitsu.
Also, technical stand-up, man, like that would have came in handy so much. You know, like when you sit on a double, like they actually grab your butt. So you sit in on a double so they don't get the two, and then you reach in and do like the hand lock. Like from there, like you could even almost like cross face, and then when you face their face that way, you could take that leg that you cross face on and bring it back and do like a legit technical stand-up. And all I knew there was like fight. If he leans too far forward, you know, check the oil, throw him over your shoulder and end up on top. But it's like you could actually sometimes, or turn, if it's too late, turn around, let him get the two and stand up, get the one.
Yeah. Check the oil. Yeah.
Gotta check that oil.
I was like, I never called it checking the oil, but we can say,
we came up. So we were watching a UFC fight, like all our guys in the gym. They've invited me to go watch a UFC fight. Thanks, guys, for accepting me. And
he's a newer guy at his school.
Yeah,
he moved. He's a newer guy at his school.
So we were watching. It was that last big card, I think, with Charles Oliveira.
Okay.
Oh no, it was the one where Homeboy got knocked out last second. He was winning the whole entire fight. It wasn't the last one because that happened to Usman. Sorry, spoiler alert. But anyways, I think it was Joanna Jędrzejczyk fighting. It was a retirement fight. That's what it was. Okay. So anyway, she got taken down by John Wei Lee or whatever, and she reached back and grabbed both of her butt cheeks and just spread them. And then some dude that was like in the back, it was like Austin, I think. He was in the back, and he was just like, 2 hands in the cookie jar. So that's what we call it now. Like sometimes we use that as a defense in the gym, and we'll just be like, 2 hands in the cookie jar.
Dang. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm gonna start using that.
Yeah, it works.
I'll use it tomorrow.
Close.
What is I'm curious, what has been the difference? Do you see a difference in the communities, in the jiu-jitsu community and in the wrestling community? In your mind, what are the differences in the people and the way they interact with each other? Do you see those differences?
The substance abuse.
Yeah. That's definitely a big one. But I think the difference is one of the pretty obvious differences is like I hate to say this, but it's kind of like the mental toughness that you don't really find in jiu-jitsu that you find in wrestling. You know, and that's because jiu-jitsu is honestly a more efficient martial art, because you can choke people. You don't have to be as mentally tough. If you can choke them, you choke them. Whereas in wrestling, it's like I gotta pin this motherfucker, or I gotta tech him, or get a major, or like, you know that the match 90% of the time, unless you're wrestling a bunch of shitty kids, 90% of the time is going to go the whole way. So I think it's like the way that we train in order to win. And obviously there's exceptions, you know, like everyone sees like JT Torres posting like crazy workouts and stuff on Instagram, and Nicky Rod, or like some of the B team, like, or just, you know, some of the more athletic jiu-jitsu guys, like, but all those guys have wrestling backgrounds. Funny enough, like, I think the way that wrestlers learn to train is a bit different than in jiu-jitsu, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing for the rule set. Like, based on the rule set, it doesn't matter like necessarily how hard of a motherfucker you are in jiu-jitsu, because if Gordon Ryan grabs my neck, it doesn't matter if I'm way stronger, way faster, in
You're
better
dead.
shape than them. You know, yeah, you're fucking dead,
Yeah.
right? So, I think that's the difference. I also think that like the community in jiu-jitsu tends to be obviously a bit older, you know, and the community in wrestling is a bit younger. It's like the lifetime of a good wrestler. What is it, like maybe 32, 33?
That was going to be
girls.
my point. There's a cap.
Yeah, there's a cap.
It's a race.
Yes, exactly. Who's going to get older faster? You know.
Well, it's like I only got this long to compete, and even if I'm the baddest man on the planet, I only have 2 Olympics, maybe 3, because they're 4 years apart.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. And who knows if you're even going to make the team?
And then after that, what are you going to do? Be the guy who's the best wrestler in your hometown, so you open up the gym and then you teach. Obviously, you love wrestling and you're going to love that job, but like that's it. Like that's the. Whereas in jiu-jitsu is like, I'm going to do this till I'm 90.
You endorse hygiene products.
Yes. Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
this is the perfect time for you to cut to the commercial, Bo. And we're back.
That was good. Good job, man. You're really good at this.
You're a good producer.
I just stepped in shit on that one.
Yeah.
Brandon, I was also thinking about you definitely answered my question. You didn't answer what I was expecting, which was to talk a little bit more about. And I guess you kind of said it in the age differences, but I always feel like we had Victoria Anthony on. Do you know Victoria Anthony, right?
Yeah.
And she talked about kind of the women wrestlers, how like they hate each other before they get on the mat. They hate each other after they get off the mat, right? It's like girls slapping hands. In jiu-jitsu, it's just like slap bump, you're hugging each other at the end of a mat. For the most part, there's always going to be, it's in the gym where like, we're trying to rip each other's heads off, but as soon as we're done, it's just like, thank you, thank you for trying to break my arm, I guess like that part of the culture. Do you see differences there?
Yeah, for sure. Like completely. She's right. It's if that's what she said. Like, I was talking to Voss, another graduate assistant here, a really great guy. He's an awesome wrestler, and we're talking about like our mindsets before we wrestle. Some people are different, but like when I go to like, if I was at a tournament, especially like the national tournament, I'm never friendly. Like, you're not my friend. If you're not on my team, fuck you. Like, even if you're not my weight class, like, fuck you. Don't talk to me before. Don't talk to me after. If we're at a bar, we can drink a beer together. We can be cool then. But like, if we're in the wrestling room and if we're in like a arena where we're supposed to be wrestling, like, fuck all you guys. I hate all you guys. Whereas like with jiu-jitsu, I got fucking choked out by Michael Pixley in 10 fucking seconds in the absolute finals by a fucking guillotine. And then we're like, oh, fuck, cool. How's your day going? Like, how are you doing, bro? Like, let's train together soon. It's like in wrestling, you're not going to find that. Like, if someone pins me in 10 seconds, I'm just going to be like, and fuck this guy. Like, I don't want to talk to him.
Where's the nearest bridge?
Literally.
I'm going to go jump off that thing.
So I think what about the two sports or martial arts? What is it about it? Why is it like that? Can you put your finger on something? I mean, it's probably a hard question to answer, but
I got perspective on this one.
Yeah, I think it's. I personally, I think we grew up in like the scholastic system for wrestling. Obviously, jiu-jitsu is becoming a more like age group thing. Like, there's younger kids doing it, but like wrestling, like if you've wrestled, you come through this scholastic system. Whether that's you start in high school and end in college, or start younger and end in college, or start younger and end in high school, like it's so fucking serious. Like, it's just so serious all the time. And like sometimes you shoot this shit, but it's just so serious. Where it's like jiu-jitsu, you can go to a gym. I started a jiu-jitsu gym. There was a fucking 65-year-old lady that was my first drill partner when I went to Chew's gym. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? I'm drilling with 60. So you're like, there's no black cloud above your head.
I've been thinking about this, especially when I knew you were coming onto the podcast, and I like reflected on my very mediocre wrestling career. And I was like, there was a sense of urgency. That's what it was. Wrestling like has an end. Jiu-jitsu doesn't.
I was going to throw in also like most of the time you're angry because you're trying to make weight too. Like you're eating poorly. You're like, this fucking suck. The grind, it's a different grind because like you said, you're in the scholastic system. You're doing it for a reason. I'm doing it for, stress release, stress relief. Yes.
I knew nothing.
I'm doing it for like, I want to do this forever. So like, I can go into that gym and go like, okay, I'm not going to roll this round, versus there's a coach over me yelling, screaming, do this, do that. Plus, you got to make weight. What's your weight? How much you got to cut?
And it's all, when I was a kid too, it's all bro science. Like, I'm very lucky that I had a very awesome coach. Shout out to Coach Emilio Condas. Love that dude. And he's an athlete himself. He was a wrestler himself, and he was young. Like, obviously he looked like a teacher when I was a kid, but like, once you think back, he's like, oh man, he was only like 28, you know, like, and
old man back then, right?
Yeah, but like nutrition was crap, even with what he knew, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's like, making weight. I would just like, all right, I got to make weight. I'll just eat bananas for 5 days.
I used to wrap my belly and my legs with saran wrap, put on some sweaters and sweat. I wrestled for like 2 years in junior high, so I can't compare myself to either of you. But I would, to make weight, I would get on a bike in my basement in front of the TV.
Yeah, I used to chew
saran wrap and just try to sweat it before. Like I didn't have like a suit.
I would be in class and it was like sanctioned. I would buy Bubblicious sour gum because it would activate my saliva muscle, like whatever glands, and just spit and just like literally. Like, if I fill up a Gatorade bottle, I'm like, oh, this is 1.5 pounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I need this.
You think that's part of it? You think that it's that grind? It's finite. There's all the things that we're saying. I think we're saying it, that these are the things that
it's all in school too, bro. You're right. You're 100% right. So you're like also trying to do fucking geometry.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you're also like, this guy from this high school, I watched this tape. Okay, just circle out because he always does this. Like, so you're like,
I remember in junior high, like the girls were really cool about it too, because like the girls that had either boyfriends on the team or like there was the girl managers, and like then their friends would kind of get into it. Like they knew you were cutting weight, like they'd feel bad for you, and they'd come over and like give you a hug.
I didn't get
as like,
any
you making weight. Yeah, like they could see they could see your misery, and it was kind of like a cool thing.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
You got that?
Yeah. No. So I didn't ever really cut weight, you know. So but I was always fighting for like a starting spot. There's a lot of shit, and like another big point, which if you wrestle in college, you totally agree with this, is barely anyone starts out on a full ride. If you have a shitty season, goodbye. If you have a shitty season,
you get cut.
Your scholarship's low. You have a great season, you go from a 50% ride to a 75%. You win a national title, maybe you have a full ride. So it's like, it's not like in jiu-jitsu. I can go to Worlds and get choked out every time. Who cares? They don't even pay if you win now.
Yeah.
But if I lose at nationals, I don't have a full ride. How the fuck am I going to pay for college? So fuck that guy. He's not my friend. I got to pay for school. Fuck him.
And you also have to compete in your team. There's also a guy that wants your spot at your weight.
Yes.
And I remember, dude, you're bringing back so many memories. Yeah, I always had to fight this kid, bro. It was the same. Me and him all throughout high school were always the same weight. So it was like we knew each other.
We were never super friendly with a guy in your weight class.
We were cordial with each other.
But
like we never hung out because we were always seating, like always.
Yes, 100%. It's just so much more serious because of like he said, like you're fighting off your teammates all the time, or you're fighting for a scholarship, or something. And
speaking of like wrestling friends, like in high school, you do like sleepovers or whatever. I remember sleeping over at our best guy's house. He was like a 140 pounder, and I mean super serious, freaking cauliflower ear, square jaw, high school. Like,
did he oil check you in the middle of the night?
No, man. I go into his room. His room is literally a bed, a TV, and nothing but gym equipment.
I was gonna say mats.
There was a mat there, and VCR tapes. To the ceiling, just
wrestling.
full of just wrestling stuff and then WWE stuff. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a great sleepover. And dude, the whole night we literally worked out. Yeah. Like we were like, how much can you bench press?
Awesome.
How much can you bench press? Like, like you're not getting that in any other sport.
I wish I would have continued at wrestling where in my school, we had really good wrestlers. When I think back on it now, there was never, I'm 49, so we're going back quite a bit of time. There wasn't a lot of talk about mindset and like the mental aspect of the game, at least in the sports that I did soccer. I played a little bit of like a season of football. I always started stuff and quit, but soccer was my game. Soccer was where I was good when I played the longest. I even did gymnastics. in all of those sports, nobody really talked to you about being positive mindset. Even my jiu-jitsu coach now, who's younger than me, he talks to the kids and the adults about mindset, about when I wake up in the morning, sometimes I don't want to put on my gi, but I make myself. And then when I go, I feel so good about it. Like I would quit if I lost. I would quit if I had a bad game. I'd want to quit at least. I'd quit for all these stupid reasons, or again, want to quit, or talk to my parents about quitting. It was just like, no, you got to go. It was never about like, well, why do you want to quit? Tell me about what's going on. Mindset. It's okay. Everybody loses. It's going to make you better. Like I didn't get that. So I was just like, oh, well, I'm not good at this, so let me quit. That's what you do, right? So I think back in that that era, I loved wrestling. I loved jiu-jitsu. I still feel like even in the little bit amount of time that I wrestled, there's still little things that I do in my jiu-jitsu now that I'm like, nobody does cradles. Like I do cradles when I'll cradle somebody when I'm, I can pull them over, I can flip over them.
He's a big man.
But I really like that was one of the things. If it was like soccer, wrestling, and I'm glad I found jiu-jitsu when I was older, because I feel like if I would have found it when I was younger, I would have quit. I would have found a reason.
You weren't in the right mindset to do it.
But again, nobody talked to us about mindset. I mean, I know that we've come light years from that. I'm sure you guys talk a lot about mindset, right, throughout your career. Yes?
Yeah. It's of course it's really dependent on your coaches. Like I said, I was blessed to have like my high school coach who I ended up living with, who he helped me. I mean, everyone's different. Like everyone needs something different. Like some people need people yelling at them, calling them a bitch. I can't do that. Like that's not how I play. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So we're probably really simple. But for me, I had a guy who said, Brandon, like, what the fuck do you want to do in life? And I was like, I don't know. I'm like 16, 17. And it was like, do you want to go to college? I was like, yeah. He's like, okay, here's all these things you need to do. He's like, let's be objective about this, And so my mindset has always been, because of that guy, it's like, I don't really look for motivation. I don't look for praise. I look for objectivity. And I'm like, objectively, if I do these things, I'm most likely going to win unless some crazy shit happens. And so that was my motivation. That was my mindset. That was like what my coach gave me. When I came to college, my coach was a bit crazy. I love him to death. But he was kind of one of those crazy old school, coaches who's like, stop being pussy to everybody, Yeah. And you're like, come on, bro. Like, I'm a grown man. Don't say that to me.
Yeah. I had a girlfriend one time that did that shit to me.
Oh,
we would. Not exactly the pussy thing, but like we'd go work out, and she'd be like, "Come on, do it," and I'd be like, "No, that doesn't work. Go away.
I don't need that.
Yeah, I don't need that. I'll lift and I'll go heavier, but I don't need. Yeah, like she did coach people. She did fitness. And I don't need that. No, you could go away. I'll lift here by myself if you're gonna yell in my face.
Yeah,
I'm more positive reinforcement than anything.
Same.
Same. Are you doing that now to the people that you get to coach? Like you're implementing what you thought were the good parts of all the coaches that you've had?
So I really try not to be super preachy. Like I'm just like, hey guys, like with the college wrestlers today, I was drilling with one of them. I was like, hey, okay, fix this little detail. Cool. Hey, fix this little detail. And then like we finished the workout, and he was like, how did it feel? I was like, yeah, you felt good. He was like, man, like I'm stressed out about the season. The season's about to start in a couple of weeks. And I'm like, dude, why? Like, what are you stressed out about? It's like, well, what's gonna happen? You're gonna lose a match. You're gonna win a match. Like, who gives a fuck? And that's my coaching style. And again, to some people, they're like, what the fuck, like, Brandon, that's horrible. It's like, I want you to win, and I wanted to win, but objectively speaking, like, we're so much more than our sport. So when I talk to the kids that I coach, whether they're college kids or like little kids, I always say, hey man, you're more than sport. It's cool. Like if you win, you lose, I don't care. I'm gonna shake your hand. I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna love you regardless. Because that's what I needed. Now that might not be right for you guys. It might not be right for someone else. But for me, when I coach, I just be myself. If someone loses, I'm like, oh, okay, look, maybe you should have did a down block. Maybe you need to get better at hand fighting. Maybe you need to get better at shots, whatever. But there's no feeling to it. Like for me, there's very little like emotion when it comes to my coaching. I don't know, maybe that sounds bad, but
it sounds like you give it to them straight. You're like, hey, what's wrong? You tell them what's wrong. But also I feel like you focus more on the psychological side. Yeah. Where they're like, hey man, your wrestling doesn't suck, your brain sucks right now. So what's going on?
Yeah, of course. Because most people get like I always get questions on Instagram and stuff. And most people are like, man, I go out to the mats, whether it's jiu-jitsu or wrestling, they're like, I'm so nervous, I'm so scared. It's gonna give me my first competition. I don't know what to do. And I'm just like, dude, like, what are you nervous about? Well, like, who cares? Like, what's gonna happen? Like, okay, are you gonna die? Maybe if you don't tap soon enough, you could. But like, realistically, it's like, what's gonna happen if you lose? Like, who gives a fuck? Like, it could be the.
I get a lot of that. We get a lot of that from our coach or my coach Felipe, his old coach. And like, but did you die? You know, he does the impression. But did you die? Okay, so it's not like the end of the world, and everybody loses. People win, people lose.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's so true. It's like that's my number one mental thing. Is like, hey, dude, just compete. Who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. You win, you lose. Who cares? Whatever. I got choked out in 10 seconds, and flow grappling posted all over. 30,000 likes on me. But bro, who fucking cares? Who fucking cares?
That's a true story.
Yeah, it's a true story. Yeah. I get Blue Belt Worlds. I made it to the absolute finals, and then I got freaking snapped down, a wrist snap right into like a high elbow guillotine. Immediately tapped, done, 10 seconds. If you see my face, I'm literally like, I look at Chewy, I'm so, oh well,
it happens
because that's how I am. It's like, who cares? Like
that's good to you. The alternative would be to really let it suck you down into a really bad place. Yeah. And that's not good for anybody.
Fall down to your knees and scream really loud and yell at the ref.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, exactly. But I try not to. Like after that match, after Pixley, he choked me. I went to Chewy and I said, "Hey, can we work on guillotine defense?" Guess what we did for like 3 months?
Guillotine defense.
Now I've been put in guillotines. I haven't been submitted again in one.
You gotta push.
Like, it's objective, right? So it's like like someone's gonna sit here and cry, like, you know, oh, what the fuck are you crying about? It's Blue Belt World.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck?
I think what you suffer from is that you've competed at the highest level for your sport.
Yeah.
Besides the Olympic, which to me, it's like college is probably more nerve-wracking than pros, because that it's a different crowd, and it's also your golden ticket to the pros, which is it's super slim pickings, and you have the pedigree for it.
You're more on the line.
So it's like for you to do IBJJF Worlds, which is like you're paying $115 plus the $35 membership fee, plus your hotel stay, plus all of your meals.
Your flight.
You know, you're bringing your own gi with your own belt, with your own food.
So we actually haven't talked about it yet, and you know we mentioned in the intro. Let's talk a little bit about you're a 3-time national champion, correct?
Yeah.
And in what was it, 2021?
Yep.
NAIA.
Yeah, Wrestler of the Year. Yeah,
Wrestler of the Year. So and you are currently a blue belt.
Yep.
Do you guys do stripes or degrees?
Nah, they don't really do stripes.
Yeah. He has a purple stripe. Sandbagging.
I know. Fuck.
Is that? You know what? That's a valid question. I think we talked about it on the last episode too. I made a joke about a friend of the show. He's like the 10-year blue belt. You know, like you start and stop, start you stop. But really, you're probably, when it comes to competition, at least, you know, there are guys that are like, you're probably really a brown belt. So you know, submitting guys at blue belt. You know, like, hey, I want to go. Exactly. Yeah, like I'm not bragging about that. I wouldn't be bragging about that.
Your hands are tied.
I agree.
Your hands.
Yeah,
are
like
tied.
I mean, like go up a belt. You know,
exactly.
And I think is that what happened? I think I heard Chewy tell the story that when you were at white belt, your first competition, did he move you up to blue?
Yeah, I've never competed at white belt. Okay. So I've only competed at blue belt 3 times, and I've competed at expert divisions all the other times, like including ADCC trials. So I've competed in a ton of expert division tournaments, but only because like it was IBJJF that I went to the blue belt, because she was like, I guess we have to fucking put you.
You got no choice. Yeah.
It's fucking stupid, because I go and face these 4-stripe blue belts and I fucking darce them because they are weak. You know, they never wrestled. You know, so it's like I put a 3/4 Nelson in a darce. I mean, who cares how good they are technically? I think it's unfair. I think that if it's no-gi, fuck the belts. Like, guys, we're expert. It should always be expert. You know, and whatever intermediate. New
breed does that.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I think so. Like those smaller tournaments, they'll do stuff like that.
Yeah, like Naga does it too here, like in this area. It's but I think and you know, I don't want to call anyone out, but like Worlds, it's fine. I get it. It's Worlds, whatever. Even then, it's like really? Are you like
they're trying to get
still
their
not
money,
really.
so that if they have divisions, that's more people, so that's more money.
Yeah, but like realistically, like if you wrestled for 10 years, if you wrestled for 5 years, and you go compete at a blue belt tournament after you've had like 3 or 4 months of jiu-jitsu experience, bro, there's so few blue belts that are going to tap like guys who are good wrestlers with a couple months of jiu-jitsu experience.
They should add another division.
You are another wrestler. Yeah.
They should add another division.
Yeah, I remember at my school we had a white belt that wasn't really that good to begin with, and everyone was talking about the white belt that he was competing against was a wrestler, and the second he drags him down and then just totally jumps up in the air and throws him into a guillotine, and it was just like, but where is the satisfaction in that? Like, I actually feel the exact opposite. I'm like, I would be embarrassed to like, why am I competing at this level?
Because you have to.
No, but again, you can move up. You can at
Your
New Breed.
coach-
You can tell New Breed. I remember it being at the table when a guy said,
Yeah.
"Hey, I've wrestled for X amount of years. What division should I be in?" And they were like, "You're gonna no less than blue."
Yeah.
Like, right? I mean, there should be like people want the freaking
$10
Yeah, I want their little
$10 medal.
So
With two people.
I
in
just
your
don't see the
bracket.
satisfaction in that. It's just like that's like beating up the guy on his trial week. It's
yeah.
Hold on.
What do you get out of that?
No, I get a lot out of it.
Yeah.
He's like, I get a win.
Oh, so you're the guy.
Oh yeah, I told you.
I'm the complete opposite. I'm like, hey man, do you want me to show you a couple things? Have you done this before? Have you been to any other schools? I'm totally like, let me hold your hand. I'm going to do Jiu-Jitsu 101 with you if we roll or if you want to train. But
yeah.
You're the guy?
Yeah. You've done any other sports?
Yeah.
No. Great.
Come here.
Yeah.
Come into my garden. Come here.
Welcome to the Thunderdome. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I don't really do that.
Well, I don't know. I'm super conscious of the business side of it. Again, I talk about it all the time, I know. But I'm super conscious of the business side of it. As a business owner, I know, like my coach, if I'm beating up the new guy, come on, you're only hurting your coach. You gotta motivate them. I think George Piro said it on the last episode. Like, he wants to motivate them. He wants to encourage them.
Doesn't
to come
take
back.
it easy though.
Yeah, but he says I'll fight them
just above their level.
Just above their level, right? So they're not dominating me. I'm not choking them out every 5 seconds.
That's what coaches do.
I actually do. Like, for me now, especially we have a lot of white belts in our gym right now. So like we do 6-minute rounds. I'll watch the clock. I used to I'm gonna submit them really quick, get one submission out of the way, and then I'm gonna let them fight. Like I'm gonna let them know that I could submit them to make sure that they don't go crazy. I'm not trying to hurt them, but I used to do it that way, and then pull guard and let them work. But they know, he can get me at any time. Now I just usually pull guard. I kind of do it the opposite. I let them feel like they're dominating me, and then I'm watching the clock, and I'm going to submit them. I'm going to try to submit them just right before the bell's going to ring, as opposed to submitting them, and just constantly.
Yeah.
It's like it's not fun for them.
Yeah.
you
Unless you're
motivate
working on it. Do you have you taken like the head and arm into jiu-jitsu? Like the head and arm throw? The hip toss?
Yeah. But like, really, I don't even, I like the head and arm throw. Like I showed it the other day on Instagram, but my go-to takedowns are very jiu-jitsu specific for me. And I like getting to the back, right? So I love slide bys,
Yeah. Duck unders.
I love duck unders, so those are probably the two takedowns. Like if you watch any of my jiu-jitsu matches that you'll see me hit slide bys and foot sweeps or slide bys or, duck unders. That's the shit I like because I want to submit everyone. I fucking hate points. I think points are ridiculous. I think the takedown rules in jiu-jitsu are ridiculous.
I agree.
I want to submit everyone. That's why I'm doing jiu-jitsu, not wrestling. Everyone gets surprised by that. It's like, if I have to pull guard and heel hook someone because I can't take them down, I'd rather do that than fucking sit here and wrestle for points the whole time.
I hate the pushing matches in the heavyweight divisions.
Oh my God, they're so bad. No one knows how to wrestle. Look at IBJJF Black Belt World Finals. Me and Chewy literally almost put a gun to our heads because we were watching the finals.
Yeah.
And it was literally Pedro Mourinho and Cyborg, I think, just pushing each other back and forth.
Yeah, that was a big pushing match. And then they were both literally physically looking at the clock and they waited till there was 15 seconds left. And then they started just shooting from 40 feet out.
Yeah. And you're like, bro, Like there should be rules against it.
And
Why,
they're
why
both.
aren't there
And
stall
then,
calls?
and then what's the other side of that coin? They're both really freaking good at jujitsu.
yeah.
Cyborg, for as big as that dude is,
He's
it can
crazy.
roll up like a ball. He could berimbolo. He's extremely agile.
Super flexible.
Super flexible. You know, synonymous with agile. My bad.
Yeah.
And then
the agile is more
yeah.
like, can get back
I mean,
and
he's an
forth
athlete, and he's a great jujitsu
quickly.
athlete, and so is his opponent. Like,
Yeah.
so it's like, fuck it, bro. Pull guard. That's not even points. That's not even an advantage. Nothing. Like,
Yeah.
and just start working
Yeah.
from there. You know, it's like you could stop a smash pass. I've seen you both do it in real life.
Yeah.
am I doing the intro or you doing the intro?
I'm doing the intro. BJJ box. The
we got a new
BJJ box.
We're gonna do a little unboxing here.
Got one.
We got a brand new BJ. We got a brand new BJJ box
Uh-huh.
and lots of cool stuff. You've already
I'm
got
wearing
the
shirt. We
T-shirt.
talked about it in the beginning.
Heel hooker assassin.
That's right. So like don't erase it.
Don't erase the heel.
Yeah.
I stole it. Let me just tell you a story real quick. I stole it. Not stole it. Tony sends us two
Uh-huh.
different sizes, right?
Right.
And when I got it, I was going up to Orlando to
Right.
drop my daughter off at school.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, I
Congratulations.
know there's a new shirt.
Empty nester.
Thank you very much. I know there's a shirt in that box for me. Let me bring it up because my wife loves when I wear
Dale.
jujitsu shirts everywhere we
do
go.
it.
So I take it out. I did, heel hooker. So I thought it was cool. I was like, all right, gonna pack
This
it.
means like you're crushing the heel hooker.
Yeah.
Like
heel hooker
yeah, 'cause
assassin.
It's like the
Or
guy who does the heel
other way,
hooker.
it could be the other way too.
Or you could be a heel
you
hooker.
are the
that's-
heel hooker assassin. I'm like I'm
Yeah.
the assassin who uses heel hooks.
I got it.
All right. So
If I scoop my ass in.
long story short, when I put it on, I tried it on, and my wife was like, "What does that say, hooker?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "You are not wearing that on campus." And
She
I'm
has
like,
she has selective vision.
"Yeah." I'm like, "No," but
And that
I
made
was like,
sense. Yeah, that made sense.
These girls her roommates are not going to know who this is. I'm going to
Yeah.
be meeting parents, and I've got heel hookers. Like it's just going to go to hooker assassin. Right?
Yeah.
They're not going to know BJ, what?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to know. So I wore it only in the hotel to go to sleep that one night.
Did
But
jujitsu?
I've worn it since.
Jujitsu
I've worn it
is such
since.
a jujitsu thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
'cause you're
actually
funny,
brought it
huh?
with me to wear, but then I said, hey, you wear it. I'll just.
I get made
come from
fun
the
of
meeting.
at work constantly.
For what? For all the jiu-jitsu stuff?
Just jujitsu and period. Like so one of the vice presidents had me look over some numbers on a spreadsheet or something like that, and he's like, the line items that I want you to look at are all highlighted blue because you're a blue belt. Just like, I was like, all right, Mike.
All right, let's get into it, man.
So you can never have enough of this. You can't. I mean,
I use it every time we get it.
I'm like a gun nut when it comes to Tiger Balm. Like I have one in almost every room in my house, one in my bag. There's a nice little travel size, regular strength Tiger Balm, oldie, goodie, classic.
Ooh.
Love the smell. Makes me feel good when
very
I feel
cool.
bad.
That little.
Yes, sir. That's right. It's a tiny one. So
yeah,
like
very
these are
cool.
good for like white, blue belt. Because if you're a black belt, your hands don't work anymore. And you can't open one that's small. Right? So if you want to piss off a black belt and he's like, anybody got any Tiger Balm? Toss him that little thing. And then
I'm gonna take this one.
okay,
if you don't
dale.
mind.
That's you. Yeah, you're brown. You could almost not open it. How do you say the word again?
Kinesiology tape.
It's got the word easy in it.
There you
But
go.
it ain't easy to say. And this is a thicker one, which I like, and it feels extremely cushy. I like it.
Let me see.
And it matches my belt color.
Okay.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. You can have that.
Oh, you're a baby blue belt.
Hey,
I'm
bam.
hungry.
I mean, a baby blue.
So
What
what
do
we
you
got
got?
here is Ostrom turkey snack sticks. I mean, look, this is what they're giving you in the box. You get some new jerky to try that you never tried before. Everybody loves beef jerky. If you don't like beef,
brown sugar flavor.
yeah, man. And this is turkey jerky. You know what I mean? So
How do I open it?
how do you open it from the top?
Gobble,
There you
gobble.
go. Get it, buddy. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Is it good? Is it good?
Very
All
good.
right. Good, good, good. What we have here is
I don't get you dinner.
you could say Vive, or if you speak Spanish, Vive, hand exercise balls.
And
These are extremely good. I actually need these. My hands
Whoa.
have been getting kind of weak
say
lately.
that backwards.
Uh,
Ball
E5.
exercise hands.
that's what you end up doing.
Ball exercise hands.
So they come in different strength level. You know what I'm saying? So
Hand
you go from
exercise
like
balls.
easy peasy to Hulk smash. They feel good. Bro, my kids would just these are bouncy balls, bro.
Crush.
Where's the box? What is, oh,
It's a Vive hand exercise
different-
balls.
is it
Yeah, there's different.
different
colors,
Yeah,
different
color. 4 resistance levels
different
allow
tension
for.
on each one.
Yeah, 4 resistance levels allow for progressive hand therapy.
So you're trying
green
to
is-
crack walnuts?
So green,
with
no,
one hand?
green looks way squishier. Try purple. Oh yeah, this is way easier.
Oh shit! This is
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I feel like I can play like some racquetball with this one.
Yeah, that's what I said. That
This
was
is
a
super
bouncy-
soft.
Yeah, this is what I need to start at right now. I hurt my hand. My daughter's a hero, by the
Oh.
way. Yeah, my daughter's a hero. Some little girl jumped into a pool during a pool party. It wasn't like the parents just turned their heads for a second. It was a pool party, you know what I mean? This girl, just like toddlers always want to kill themselves, if you remember the toddler stage. She jumped into the deep end. My daughter didn't even blink, bro. Jumped into the deep end, and she was standing at the bottom of the pool just so she could hold that kid up while like all the parents were running. I got there, and my hand, I went to go reach, one for my daughter, one for this other little girl. She's like one of our neighbor's daughters. And when I went to go reach for her hand, my hand hit the pavers on the edge of the pool. I got it. I got them both out like this.
Shout out to your daughter for the
Yeah.
for the quick
Hey,
thinking.
shout out Hayden, for real, bro, and happy birthday.
One day she's gonna watch this when she's old and be like, "Oh my god, my dad used to be a."
Dude,
on the podcast."
that kept me up all night. I woke up my wife in the middle of the night. I was like, our daughter just like saved somebody's life, like without even thinking about it.
If I woke up my wife to tell her that, she'd be very angry with me.
Nah, bro, not about that. And the BJJ box. A towel.
Oh,
Am I
cool.
holding it upside down?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Well, if you can read it upside down, you are in trouble. Turn your phone
Turn
around.
your phone. Yeah, right.
Yeah. What does it say? Submission
Hunter. The BJJbox.com.
Bam.
Very cool.
You should be
Competition
submission
towel.
hunting. Right?
Take it to a competition, right?
That could be your rally. You know, have you seen the meme, the GIF of like when your boy tells you to hold the phone during his competition match and he's just getting slaughtered the whole time? And it's like that Denzel Washington movie where he's watching his buddy get murdered. And he's
You know what one I love? I forget who I forget who I followed that posted this.
yeah.
It was a whole bunch of different memes of a girl holding up her guy against the wall, like he's like.
Oh
wrapped
yeah,
the legs around.
when you pull guard, this is how your girl kisses you. Yeah, when your girl trains and you don't, you're her girlfriend.
Hilarious. It was they did like 4 or 5 of them, and it was like you swiped it.
Yeah.
It was the same picture, different caption.
I've been really loving the showy rolls, the tapes, because you know they have a phone number you could call and you leave a voicemail, and then they post them. They're so good, man. I think I'm just gonna call, but I can't think of anything that's worth of any value to say. I'm just gonna say some dumb shit.
What else?
So
is in
thank
that
you to the
box?
BJJ box.
That was it. That was all that was in the
Oh,
box.
cool. Okay.
Turkey.
There was 2 T-shirts,
2
some
T-shirts,
turkey.
for anyone that's ordering, right? You get the handballs, you get the T-shirt,
T-shirt.
you get the turkey jerky, you get the
Tiger Bomb, the kinesiology
the
tape, towel.
Did we say
The
the
towel.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Right.
That was a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of,
There's
a lot of
1,
stuff.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
6 items in that box.
Wow.
Right.
Well,
we
and
had
the
a few
T-shirt
extra
feels
because he
good.
gives us 2 of a few things, so
Yeah.
for us to share.
Very
Good
nice.
job.
All right, bro.
Thank you guys.
Let's
All
get
right,
back
guys,
to this
let's get back
guest.
to the show.
Yeah, I agree. I don't get like I was watching Black Belt because I was like, I want to win Black Belt Worlds. It's like one of my big goals, right? But then I like went to Black Belt Worlds and I'm like, fuck, if they just want to wrestle me, I'm probably actually gonna win. You know, because it's like full fucking guard, you know, like I think that maybe my like pet peeve with jiu-jitsu and no time limit matches. Like those 2 things are like the things like the guys who just sit there and hand fight the whole time are the shitty no time limit matches that are 2-3 hours. I'm just like, bro, like this is why jiu-jitsu is not like comparable to wrestling when it comes to entertainment. It's just not. Like
Have you ever been guilty of purposely putting yourself in a bad position just so you could jiu-jitsu and not wrestle while you're doing jiu-jitsu with an opponent?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're like, okay. Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
It gets boring. I
100%.
hate it sometimes, man.
Well, I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
not exactly sure.
So it's like
I understand what you mean.
I've literally been in a competition where it was like
Oh.
the first minute and a half was like
Oh, okay. You're talking about in competition.
collar sleeve tugging.
Yeah.
And then every time I would shoot, they would just like throw their legs back like super far, but like not sprawl. Like, you know, they like bend forward and then they just like, and it's like, it's really difficult with a gi to get a shot off like that because they have grips. So it's like, they don't have to sprawl. They could just push up and then just go back. So it's like,
because they can frame.
you could be a freaking 40-time Olympic wrestler. I don't care. You're not getting a double with somebody that has those grips on you if you're equal
Never.
strength. And
Nope.
so it's like, I'm just like, okay, I just sit on my butt.
Yeah. of
You know,
course.
it's
I'm-
just because I was like, okay, buddy, like, what are we doing
When
here? Like,
I mean, I'm a guard puller. I'm a guard puller. Again, I train jiu-jitsu for different reasons at this age, and I'm not going to fight with you for a half hour for a takedown. That's probably going to hurt one of us, especially again if it's so. I pull guard and go, okay, come on, just let's get to the jiu-jitsu part because I'm here for the jiu-jitsu, and instead of like really the pushing back and forth.
Brandon, you could attest to this. Good shots hurt you, like the person shooting. A lot of people don't know this. Like when you land a good shot, like when you get off the mat. I remember the first time I hit a good shot in a competition. My coach was like, "Oh, that's the double leg I'm talking about." But like while he was telling me that, I was like, "Man, my neck hurts so bad right now."
Literally, that's why I said I stopped doing blast doubles. I won't do that shit.
Yeah,
I don't even like shooting.
You do high crotches. You land a good high crotches. Man, that's the high crotch. You're like, man, my shoulder and my wrist hurt so bad right now.
You mentioned a neck injury, right?
Yeah. So
repetitive stress.
Yeah, exactly. It was just I got this like forever stinger, whenever I shoot a double leg. So now, like, if I take a shot, I mean, it's usually pretty smooth. Like I'll do like I love hand fighting, right? So like getting guys to move, hitting sweeps, like the way I do takedowns is very like smooth and fluid and technical. I don't do any takedowns that require me to muscle. I don't really like fireman's carries for that reason. Like in competition, I might do one. I love ankle picks because I snap the wrist, boom, they fall. I like good sweep singles because I shoot the shot, they fall. I don't even really have to touch them.
Yeah.
I love duck under, same reason. Like I want to do like wrestling. I like to use wrestling techniques with good hand fighting, good setups that allow me to feel nothing. And if I have to fucking shoot a blast double and break my neck, why the fuck that blast double? I got 30 different takedowns that are slick. I've wrestled all my life. And I agree, like normal wrestling hurts.
Yeah.
Freaking gi. With the gi, I just throw people. I don't even shoot. I don't do any shots at all. I just grab and I throw.
Well, that ankle pick is something that I loved in high school wrestling that translates so well to gi jiu-jitsu because you grab, instead of grabbing cross collar, you just grab same side collar and you just push them, and then when they run towards you, you snap them down, and as they pop back up, you just grab that ankle and you let go of the collar, and they just like. Blah.
My favorite.
They also have that awesome like fake guard pull to the ankle pick. Like that's like a funny one, but it works.
Oh, I saw it. It was a guy in a blue gi at IBJJF. Like I have that clip saved, and he like throws the leg out almost like a Russian pistol squat. Yeah. And then, but he's already down there, and the guy like reacts to it, and he just freaking oh man, that's a sexy move. That's a sexy move.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Foot sweeps. You said foot sweeps 3 times. That is like that's all I ever want to do is foot sweep. Yeah. I foot sweep my kids just because I like them so much.
Why not? Why not? Get reps. Yeah. Always get reps.
The off balance, like you said, the slick, you push them this way and then you behind them. And you just that one's the best.
Yeah. You just
my kid hit that on his cousin. They got in a fight in Alaska a couple years ago.
He did a foot sweep.
And Cooper did it. And my wife was like, "Stop it. Stop the fight," or whatever. And I was like, No, wait.
Yeah.
Typical jiu-jitsu dad, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of dads, I heard the story. I'd like to kind of share for you to share your story with the audience about you actually got adopted by your coach. Can you tell that story on how that transpired?
Yeah, of course. So it's not like your traditional like adoption thing. My mom loves me. She was like, but it was kind of like it was my second year of high school, and he needed to move because he was having a kid, so they wanted to go to a bit of a smaller town. And I was like, oh shit, like I'm not gonna have a coach, whatever. And so he was moving, and I knew that he was gonna leave at the end of my junior year. So he wasn't leaving my sophomore year, but I knew he was gonna be leaving the next year. And so he was like, hey man, I'm gonna be leaving at the end of the year. You're gonna be going into your senior year after I leave. If you want to come with me, you can. I know you're not gonna have a coach. And he at the time, he was already teaching me how to drive. He was letting me help him cut grass. So I got my first job with him. He was just being a mentor to me, and I didn't have it. My real dad, he left when I was a baby, right? So I was like, fuck, like this is the first time I've ever had like a male role model, which I think is super important for guys. And he was leaving, and he told me, hey, you can come with me if your mom's comfortable with it. And I told my mom, like, hey, I really, really, really like think I need this in my life. And she was like, yeah, I love you. Go ahead. Just be safe. She knew him because through wrestling and stuff like that.
How far away did you move?
About an hour. About an hour
Okay,
and a
so
half.
it was okay.
Yeah, but it's kind of weird because it's
mom's
like
a G, man.
I never visited any. Like, I didn't visit my mom. I didn't visit my family back in Louisville. Like, I think I have a kind of this really bad habit. Even now, it's like when I go somewhere, like I like kind of
You're geographically
Yeah.
social.
yes.
But when you come back to wherever you're at, it's like you never left. You're like, it takes one baseball
exactly.
game and you're back to where you left off.
Yes, exactly. So I moved with him, and then shitty situation happened. Just due to paperwork and stuff, I wasn't able to wrestle my last year of high school, which is the year that I was started, because there's like rules in KHSA, so Kentucky State Wrestling Association. That was like, hey, you basically, I probably fucked something up. I didn't file something correctly, but they basically said, hey, you're not eligible to wrestle your last year. And he was like, fuck, like, damn it, like, what are we gonna do? And then we just kind of brainstormed and we're like, all right, let's find the closest like good wrestling club to join. So I joined a place called Invicta, and I also joined another club called ETC. A bunch of guys who were going to college, actually a couple who are going to the one I'm at now. And I started wrestling with the highest level guys I've ever wrestled with in my life. Bunch of state placers, bunch of state champs. And so although I couldn't wrestle like in high school, me moving with him allowed me to wrestle with guys much better than your normal high schooler. And yeah, I mean, when I went and moved with him, I went from Louisville to the shittiest small town in Kentucky. No offense to Taylorsville, but it was, like, this sounds
Somebody's got to
horrible,
be that town.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody's got to be that town.
Yeah, exactly.
You love the people, but it's the town. It's not the people's fault. It's the town's
Yeah,
fault.
it's not the people. The people were amazing. It was a little weird because I was the only black kid at the school.
Yeah.
It was my first time experience. I went
Can't
from
relate.
like super inner city, like super inner city. Yeah.
You're light-skinned
like-
as fuck, though. So
Yeah, I know.
Miguel
But
came from Columbia, so he's joking.
I went to school
He
in Miami.
understands.
I went to school in Miami.
Yeah, I totally get that, dude. Because I said the same shit. If I go to my old high school, they're like, "Man, you're light skinned. You're mixed."
Yeah.
And when I went to this school,
You were
they
black.
were like, they didn't have people like this.
Yeah.
It was like everyone was white. Everyone had a farm. Everyone had horses.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, this is weird. So
it is weird.
it was super. It was a fucking culture shock. So I was like, all right, I gotta find a way to not be around here when I'm here. Like, I love living with Coach McKenna. I love my experience when I was there. I made a couple of friends, but it was definitely weird moving because of I never had a culture shock before, but then was a huge culture shock. And so, but I got lucky because I had the clubs. And then when I went to the clubs, I saw kids like me. There's Hispanic kids, black kids, kids, Asian, whatever, right? But yeah, definitely when I moved to that school, it was, it's all white, kind of hillbilly school. No offense,
Yeah.
But
it only takes so
weird.
much Tim McGraw.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't take the girl. Dude,
I never even listened.
So now with wrestling, I joined the military, and I went from Miami to North Carolina. I didn't know what grits were. I didn't know what biscuits and gravy were.
Yeah.
I didn't know what country music was. I didn't know what Led Zeppelin was. I didn't know what like the Beatles were. I didn't know any of that. I got to experience all of that, and I was just like,
what is going on here?
boy, this is something else.
Yeah, like full white
Yeah.
supremacist
I was
Was
like
that a huge culture shock when you came from Columbia to Miami?
I was 7, and I moved to Kendall, so I just went from Columbia to Northern Columbia. Like my mom still doesn't speak, like, she speaks and understands a little. She speaks English. She doesn't speak English very well at all.
Yeah.
Not even close. But she understands English. But there's no need to. When I brought my
She's
wife,
still here, right? She's still down here.
Yeah, for sure. And when I brought my wife down here for the first time, I was like, I'm gonna mess with her. I'll take her to this McDonald's that I've been going to since I was a kid. And it's like you get to the counter. No, they speak English, but it's like they get it. Hey, ¿cómo te puedo ayudar? Whatever. Like right out, she's like, how can I help you? Like they switch it up when they notice. And then also like being down here you could have blonde hair, blue eyed,
white as that box,
Cuban.
Yeah.
Cuban, Argentinian, Chilean.
Yeah.
So it's like
it's
it's
Irish
weird.
or German.
It's weird down here, but I feel that. So like you had the experience. So you didn't wrestle your senior year.
No. So
how did college come about?
So I was wrestling at those clubs all the time, and then I started to go to like national tournaments since they're not affiliated with state schools.
Right.
So I could go as independent, kind of like open tournaments in jiu-jitsu, right? So I I went to those. I went to Fargo, the biggest national tournament in high school, and I placed 7th and 4th. So 4th in Greco, 7th in freestyle, which was pretty good for me at the time. And it was just me training with some random clubs, really. And then I had a couple of Division I colleges reach out to me. If you guys don't know, like there's difference in the divisions, right? But I had a couple of them reach out to me. I'm not going to name names or whatever, but they honestly gave me really shitty offers. They're like 30%, 50%, whatever. And I was like, poor kid. My mom didn't have anyone else supporting her, and the guy who became like kind of my dad, I mean, he had money and whatnot, but he wasn't going to pay for my college. So I was like, I'm going to look into some other options. So I looked into some D2, D3, and NAIA schools. Over time, obviously, I came down to, 2 schools, a different one, and then Lindsey Wilson. And then I just liked the culture at Lindsey Wilson when I came in. So I did my visits, and they were like, whoa, like this is really cool. In the NAIA, you don't really see that many like Fargo All-Americans coming in, every year. So they were like, hey, we'll give you a full ride if you come here. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. But you guys got to pay for my books, because I had another school who offered me a full ride. And they said they were going to pay for my books. And then Lindsey was like, yeah, okay. So I talked to my mom.
Dude, that's a score.
Yeah, exactly.
Because so not only they gave you the books, but then you got to sell them after each semester.
Yeah,
of course.
They were mine. Yeah,
they gave him the books.
Well, I don't know if they were like, well, you got to give those back to us.
Nah, bro, because
I don't know.
College is a business. That book is obsolete next year.
Yeah, oh, that's true.
Yeah. There's always a new one.
Yeah.
There's always
but like you sell them like online, and then like another school that's using that edition of that book for that semester will buy it. So
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I ended up talking to my mom, talking to Tom, Coach McKenna, the guy that adopted me, and we were like, why would you not go to Lindsey Wilson? Why would you not go to the NAIA? And I was like, because at the time, man, in my heart, all of my friends were going to Division I, like almost all of them. Like at my club at ETC, they were going to Campbell, Chattanooga, a bunch of other like Southern kind of NC State, a couple other places. And I was like, dude, I want to go Division I. I want to go Division I because all my friends are going Division I. And I'm a good wrestler. I could have wrestled Division I. But then, like, I also didn't have like the backgrounds like them. Like, I couldn't afford to take out student loans. And I'm so, grateful that I never did. And so I chose Lindsey and went to Lindsey.
Topic.
And super
hot topic right now.
hot topic right now, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
well, you're paying for somebody else's right now, so.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking exactly, right? It's like, hey, maybe tell kids to read the contract after they finish, or before they sign up for school, because it's like, guess what, buddy? A couple months after you graduate, you have to start paying for
Bro, but shit. How dumb were you? How dumb were you at 18, 17?
Oh, fuck.
I mean,
I'm dumb right now.
Exactly. I'm not saying you're dumb, but I'm just saying, like,
I am. Bro.
He has a way better life experience than I do.
Exactly.
And I have more life experience than you do. And then Bo's got us all beat by like a half century.
So, watch your mouth, young man.
Sorry, sir.
Excuse me,
sorry, sir.
No.
He's not gonna give me one of his pocket candies now.
Yeah.
That strawberry, whatever Mrs. Buttersworth. But yeah, bro, it's like you made a very intelligent decision. I
don't know how either. I don't know. Again, it's my mentor. I give all the credit to Coach McKenna, because he really did sit me down. Like, let's be honest, he sat me down and said, bro, like with that same talk, like about being more than wrestling, like taking myself outside of my sport. He was like, objectively speaking, Brandon, and that's like, I get the habit of saying objectively speaking from him. It's like, objectively speaking, no one gives a fuck if you win a Division I national title if you're $70,000 in debt. And then he's like, but how about you go win a couple of NAIA national titles, have no debt, and now look, you're going to be in the green when you come out of college.
And you got that like book money, baby. What's up?
Yeah, exactly, right? And now I'm out of college. Well, I'm doing my master's, which is free also, but like, I'm out of college. I have no debt. I'm not paying anything to anyone. And, I'm not making, fucking like we said, the student loan thing right now. I'm not raising taxes by 1,000,000% because I want to force everyone else to
which
pay
as
for
a business owner, that's going to affect you as well.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
you did everything right.
Yeah. I don't know how to. I got lucky.
That's
man.
Good.
I'm so lucky. But I always tell my kids that too. I'm like, man, I had a kid who just asked me recently a couple weeks ago who I was doing privacy. It was like, yeah, but soon, it's time to go to college. He actually really wanted to go to Iowa. University of Iowa.
Yeah, the Hawkeyes.
Yep. And I was like,
black and gold.
Like, man, no offense, but like you probably shouldn't go to Iowa. And this was just me saying, like,
dude,
hey, like as a friend, you shouldn't go.
D1 wrestling is the equivalent of a guy buying like a Ferrari. Like most girls don't know, like from a Ferrari, from a Bugatti, from a Lamborghini, from a Pagani, from a like when you buy a car to flex, you're flexing on other dudes, right? So like if you tell me you're a D1 wrestler, I'm gonna get a hard on, but not like for real. You know what I mean? Just like a wrestling one, because I'm like, I know how hard you have to work to be at that level.
Absolutely.
But like, 100%. You can't go up to any girl and be like, "Hey man, D1, Ohio State, what's up?" And
bro, it's like
they're like, "Oh, you like WWF, like WWE wrestling?" Like that's what they'll say. Like,
they'll say that.
You know what, man? I'm really glad you had that journey, because like I feel like that's what you're coaching. You're coaching the it's okay to love wrestling. It's okay to be serious about wrestling. It's okay to want to win. It's okay to put in the work. But hey man, this comes to a real end, and then what are you left with? Your neck hurts and you're a laborer. You know?
Literally.
If you like, let's say you're a really good D1 wrestler, you get picked up by a D1 school, you start taking on all this debt, and let's say you were, you're like, oh, I'm gonna do microbiology as my bachelor or whatever, and like you drop out, you have a bad season. Those medical classes cost way more. Let's say you're mentally apt to really excel at these classes, and you would have really gotten that degree and done something with it, but like. You're like, hey, my education is more important than my wrestling. So like you still work hard, but not hard enough to be at that level. And then like now all of that falls apart, and now you have all this debt. You're no longer a wrestler. Now what?
Yeah.
That's 90. That's the like 80%. That's what happens.
Yeah.
It's like you meet these guys that are barrel chested and they did awesome college, and
is there a place? Is there a career path for wrestlers, or is that career path wrestling, jiu-jitsu, MMA?
I think like with social media and stuff, like I don't ever have to compete again. Like I don't have to compete in jiu-jitsu. I have to compete in wrestling. And I have another mentor named Nick Spatola. He runs a super successful like a wrestling club. I mean, it's been going for almost 12 years. I mean, he's incredibly financially like above stable.
Like the summer
I think it's like
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's like one of those guys that has like the 30-day summer camp.
Those
like,
are awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So, but then there's like what I do, right? Or what Chewy does. Like obviously Chewy's jiu-jitsu, but there's guys in wrestling who are just like Chewy for the wrestling space. So it's like, do you want to be like you said, like the laborer? Do you want to have to try to just grind out like 10 more years to see if you can make it on the pro stage, maybe make a world team, maybe be like a backup on the world team? And then what? Like then really
the perfect wrestling dummy for the guy who's gonna be on the world team.
Exactly. Or do you want to like, hey, like, all right, you finished wrestling, I don't want to say like rest on your laurels, but kind of rest on those, and then try to start to become a businessman. Like understand how to market yourself, understand how to utilize social media, and understand like how to monetize and be consistent, so that like you don't have to destroy your body in order to make a living. Everyone wants the easy path. Everyone wants to be like, oh, I want a fucking national title. Give me money. Oh, bitch, fuck you. Like, do what all the rest of us do. Post every day. Get an email list.
Wrestle Logan Paul.
Tons of camps. Yeah, exactly. We're fucking off. Yeah, literally. But it's like everyone wants to graduate as a national champ, Division I, whatever. Just be like they just are so entitled to like the fact that they think they're gonna make money, but then you come to the real world and everyone's like, suck my dick, bro. Like, what do you do for me? Like, where's the value that you give me besides the fact that you were good at wrestling?
And they're the guys. I will say this, even like what you would consider a deadbeat like wrestler is still like they're still mentally so tough that whatever job that they have, they're like, if you talk to anybody at that job, they're like, this guy does that job the best. I don't know how he works those hours. I don't know how he gets it done, or she or whatever. Like just impeccable mindset. And like, I think it's very important to teach, these young people coming up that love this sport or love whatever sport. It's like, bro, if you put that same amount of focus that you have to this, to the next thing, it's okay to have it for this now, but like, just carry it over. It carries over very well,
Yeah.
And that's important.
I love that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly. And that's like the don't be entitled. It's like you you're working hard for 10 years. Why do you think you can just stop working hard now because you have a couple of accolades?
Nah.
You know, and
more people are coming
so wrestling
for you.
can be a business. Yeah, exactly. Wrestling can be a business.
Yeah.
Not lots of people make wrestling a business. A lot of people didn't know that you could become like, you know, extremely wealthy like Chewy. You know, I know what his
Or
numbers
Daniel
are. You know, I work
Cormier.
with him.
Daniel
Or
Cormier had money before the UFC because of his wrestling camp.
Yeah.
Like,
so it's like, yeah, you can become like you can make a living not having to destroy your body.
Yeah.
You know? But most people don't know that. Most people think, oh, it's Olympics or bust. And it's like, bro, it's not that black and white. You know, if you work hard, you know, and you're consistent and you give value to people, eventually they're gonna, you know, give value back to you, and now you're gonna be okay. You know?
Another big difference that I've noticed in terms of beating up your body is that I wrestled, and like there was never any talk about like, hey man, stretch, hey man, do this, hey man, do like.
Yeah.
But in jiu-jitsu, it's like day one. It's like,
oh
hey,
dude,
bro,
yeah,
stretch. Like everybody, like as a white belt, I can't even count on all the fingers that I own how many times you or, you know, this guy that's been doing it for 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, whatever, they're like, hey bro, stretch. You know, because you come in after your first couple classes as white belt because you're all gun ho, and then like you can't walk up the stairs. You know, if you go ham, I went ham like as soon as I started doing it. And
I realized I needed to pay attention to that stuff when I had that. My wife pushed me out of the bed
for sure
in the morning. Babe, can you help me? It does like rolling over. She pushed me with her foot.
Is that getting better in the wrestling world where kids are now more conscious about their bodies in recovery?
I think so. Like for me, like and I can only speak about like where I wrestled, right? But like for me, when I was wrestling, like my routine would be I always get like a 10 to 15 minute warm up in before I practice in the college room. I do the college practice and I do like a 5 to 10 minute cool down, and then I would do 30 minutes of yoga every day for 4 years. Never missed it, never once. Now, did everyone do that? Fuck no. Did our coach suggest it? Fuck yes. But I was like my mindset was like, you know, how do I want a national title? And there was guys on the board at Lindsey Wilson that you could look and you'd be like, these guys' names are in gold. And when I was a freshman, I was like, I asked my coach Ruff, I was like, how do I get on that board? And he was like, here are these things that you need to do, you know, extra workouts, strength and conditioning, extra, you know, drilling, stretching, you know, recovery. And so I took that shit to heart. But also, you know, like we talked about earlier, it's like it's a room full of grown men. So you can say, hey man, you need to stretch. So that, you know, you can be
hey,
healthier.
Man,
you
need to stretch.
Yeah.
I need to stretch. You need to stretch.
Stretch these balls, bro. I'm out.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah,
to this day, when I show up at jiu-jitsu, there's like the older guys and the more experienced guys, they go over to the side and they stretch. And then there are the white belts that are just like staring at the mat, waiting for the kids' class to be over. And I'm just like, you're really not going to, because sometimes we do a couple of laps and we jump right in. There's no stretching. There's not, you know, our warm-ups are drills a lot of times. So I look at these guys and I tell you, you pointed at me before, because I did tell you in the beginning, get a massage gun, get a Right, get a chirp wheel.
Tiger Balm.
Yeah, buy stock in Tiger Balm,
ibuprofen,
and and
I don't
listen,
mess with the ibuprofen, but
yoga stretching.
Yoga's
at least,
legit.
like just look at yoga. You don't have to go to a yoga studio. Look up on YouTube, find some cool yoga stretches.
That's so right. Have you heard of the So Right thing?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
So I got the regular So Right, but I also have like the spine one, the one that looks like a whatever dinosaur.
But use the front one on the back too.
I do that too, but I also have like the multiple hump one for the back.
Yeah.
And then I also have like the little one.
Yeah.
Dude, that little one is legit.
Really? I never used that one.
Because like, you know, when you can't put the big one on your neck because I don't have a neck like yeah, but you're only getting one of those things.
Yeah.
I put them on either side of the spine with the little one. And then, dude, I could just sit there and I don't even have to be laying down. I could just get it on the couch and I'll put it on my hand.
I'll lay it on the floor.
Yeah.
I'll lay on the floor, watch some TV, and I'll just put like one side of my neck or the back.
Yeah, it doesn't make me feel
on one
good.
of them and then go the other side. It does feel like if somebody just like walked by and tripped over me, I'm going to die.
I don't play that game.
But I mean, I do all that stuff, and I'm still always like, you know, the massage gun is the best thing. Wakes up my muscles in the morning. Definitely after a training session, I come home. If I don't get to stretch, I'm going to hit myself with the massage gun. It feels like everything goes away. And then, you know,
we have a pull-up bar at work,
repeat.
and every time I make a coffee, I hang for the duration that it takes to fill up my cup of coffee.
At the gym?
That's a really good one. I did that too.
At my
Not
job.
the coffee thing.
Well, I mean, I get coffee because I'm at work.
Hanging and
Yeah,
stretching.
I hung on the pull-up bar, but I didn't have coffee when I was doing it.
No, my coffee's brewing because we have like a fancy coffee machine at work. So you like
Yeah.
input and then it makes it for you.
Yeah.
And then
So you hung as it was pouring.
So like as soon as I hit enter, I go over and I just hang on every single morning. And it's always weird sometimes because like the president or vice
Like, what are you
president or the
doing?
owner, no, they installed it.
Oh, okay. Oh no,
Yeah.
but I don't know if it's like an
It's at
actual
work.
pull-up bar. Or
No,
if
it is.
Like
It's
a piece
actually
of
a
equipment.
rock climbing. I think they're called pegboards or fingerboards.
Okay, yeah.
So they
yeah.
have like very
Yeah.
shallow holes, and then they get deeper, and then you have the handles on top.
Okay.
So I think my grip strength has gotten better because ever since I started working there, I hang on the shallow holes just with my fingertips.
Yeah.
Because like your hands will hurt.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like
Gotcha.
make them strong.
All right, listen. Let's get into the Bo. Let's get into our final segment. The
Helps to have a mic on too.
Yeah.
go ahead, say it.
The drill down.
You did something really cool on the last episode.
Yeah, you did.
You added
Yeah.
some
Down.
drill
So,
down.
so Brandon, we're gonna do our last segment. We just do we call it the drill down, and we have like 6-7 questions that we ask every guest. You can elaborate as much as you want, but we're gonna go through these a little bit more quickly. All right. So, gi or no gi? What's your preference?
No gi.
You
sure.
do train in the gi though as well.
Yeah, equally. I
Yeah.
do both, like half and half during
Yeah.
the week.
Half
Yeah,
and half, baby.
definitely no gi though.
Okay. Pull down or take take down or pull guard.
Pull guard right now, actually, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because it's not as fun to do takedowns anymore here, so it's like pull guard 100%.
Yeah. Okay. Music during rolling. Yes or no? Do you like the blast of music, or is it like everybody shut up and just work?
It depends on my mood, but mostly no. Yeah.
Mostly no. Okay.
That's that
Yeah,
wrestling
mostly.
background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything must suck always.
Yeah, literally. Mostly no. Definitely the wrestling.
Now I've heard you talk about MMA.
Right.
Is that still a plan for you? Is that still something that you'd like to do?
Probably not. Just because. Hopefully not. Let's say that.
Okay.
Hopefully
That's
not.
like a-
because
that's
of the
like a
business
plan.
stuff.
Because you wouldn't
Plan
have to.
H.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
that part of the plan before?
Yeah, I always assumed I would try at least once, but based off of the direction things are going, I'm at the hopefully not. Like, hopefully I
Okay.
can just
Can
do
I
jiu-jitsu competitions in this. What? Yep.
can I just plant a seed? I think
Yeah.
so as a guy who never did a professional fight, like as an adult now, like where I'm way past my prime, I wish I would have done one.
Yeah.
So-
Just an amateur fight.
Yeah. So you know what? Since you've had the curiosity, it ain't gonna kill you. You're
Yeah.
halfway there. Just
Yeah.
I say my personal opinion, just take an amateur fight.
How would your
Take
neck
one.
injury play into that, or is it not that bad? You said it's like you feel like it's
Nah,
a stinger. It's not.
It's
Okay.
really just when I take like blast doubles. Really, I honestly never even feel it really, unless
Okay.
it's like I take a stupid double.
Okay.
It's a repetitive
Yeah.
stress injury is what you have.
Yeah.
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 Now,
Yeah,
do you
exactly.
watch MMA? Are you a fan?
Yeah, not too much. Obviously I keep up with it on social media and stuff. I like Aljamain Sterling a lot because he was a really, really good wrestler.
Yeah.
And so
And he's
but
a backpack too, bro. Since you
he
like
is a
taking the
backpack.
bag.
He's really good. Black belt in jiu-jitsu also, you know. So yeah. I'll watch it if there's something going on. The ChewJitsu, like the Derby City MMA where Chewy's gym is at, we always stream all the fights. So I'll watch them, but I wouldn't call myself like this guy who can name off everything.
You
about,
don't stream
know.
the fights. You don't.
I
No,
don't
no,
stream the
he
fights.
no, he purchases the fight and then he has showing parties at the gym.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Be careful.
Thank
Yeah.
you. There we go.
I got you, Uncle Dana.
Yeah. yeah.
Everybody must pay.
I have yes. So the gym watches the fights a lot.
And you
in
happen
some
to be
form
there.
or fashion.
Okay.
I happen to be there. I happen to
You work
travel
there.
to Louisville.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
my place of
exactly.
business.
Are you somebody who's watching a lot of jiu-jitsu now? Are you like a
I
fan
watch
of
too
like
much
WNOs and Fight to
But
Wins?
I watch too much jujitsu.
Yeah.
I watch too
That's
much.
okay, man.
Yeah.
It's
You're-
like when I was wrestling, I watched so much wrestling. Now I watch, bro, probably
Is-
4 or
You're
5
still a
hours day.
blue belt. Like, I mean, we're talking about high level competitive.
Are you
wrestler
watching
here,
more
but,
jiu-jitsu
like,
now than wrestling?
I barely ever watch wrestling.
Yeah.
I like 100% am like like I might watch a wrestling match every now and then if I'm like curious about like a takedown or something. Like I'll be like, oh, like maybe I should do, because I'm still learning wrestling too, right? But it's like for the most part, like I have like my favorites in jiu-jitsu, and I'll go watch my favorites, and I'll just rewatch them.
Who do you like?
Yeah, who do you like?
I like Felipe Pena actually a lot. Like I really like his game a lot. And even though people hate on that Gordon Ryan and Pena match, I was like really intrigued by like how he was doing like lots of like the 50-50 and the X guard stuff to keep Gordon from passing him.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I've been playing around with a lot. I love Pena. Like that guy's probably my favorite. Obviously, you have your basics like Gordon Ryan. Like I enjoy watching him too. Yeah,
you're running the mill.
I think he means like
I know what you mean.
Staple,
like,
staple. Everybody's gonna be like, I like watching.
It's like if you say who's your favorite basketball player, you don't say Michael Jordan. Everybody knows that.
Yeah,
and then you mention the other ones.
I think though I've heard you say, and I kind of said it here too. It's just like the utmost respect. I think he's actually a nice guy. I feel like the shit talking is a little bit more of
it's
an
all
act.
a gimmick.
He's a nice guy. I think his jiu-jitsu is amazing.
Yes.
But man, sometimes it could be boring to just watch him be that wet blanket on somebody. But it's the beauty of it. And I try not model my jiu-jitsu after him, but because I'm a big guy, that's what I do. If I get 100%. On top of you, you're screwed because I'm gonna, if you're lighter than me and less experienced than me, then I'm just gonna hold you down and do what I want to do when I want to do it. And he fights like that. It's just not the most spectacular.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Matches. It's just not like, wow, did you see that? I think the element of him coming out with the envelope, like that did add a little bit. Like now I want to see. I just want to see what's in the envelope. Hurry up! I want to see if the submission you got is what you wrote in the envelope, or what are you writing in the envelope this week. So I mean that whole thing around it is kind of fun, but it's just not like the most exciting. But I think is that his fault?
No. He's making money.
But I'm saying, like, is it his fault or is it the level of jiu-jitsu practitioner?
I honestly think that nobody's at his level.
Yes.
That's all it is, bro. He's like, and what's cool is that he's young. That's the best part. Because there's he's like 26, right? 25, something like
26.
Yeah. So it's
how old are you, Brandon?
24.
Damn, there's dudes like this coming up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Different pedigree, Gordon's got great stand up, but he's not a collegiate wrestler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like he could potential Gordon puts all his stuff out on DVD. So he's got a great coach, Chewy. He's got that pedigree. He's got all those videos that he could watch and all the Danaher series videos he could watch. Finding a high level person that weighs as much as him is now become easier. And he's in that world. There's no reason why Brandon can't take on Gordon Ryan 7 years from now.
Hopefully we'll see,
or something like that. I'm just saying, like, or there's like an 8-year-old kid listening to this that's like,
gonna be the guy that unseats him,
But let's not even call 8 because that's a bit far. But like, let's say there's a 16-year-old kid.
Yeah,
you know, in 7 years he's gonna be in his mid-20s.
Yeah, I get it.
And Gordon will still be in his prime.
Right.
So I
agree.
But right now I feel like he's just stuck in this generational like purgatory where like there's all the greats that could have given him a hard time.
Issues with the stomach issues.
He's past that now.
But he was still the best even while that.
And now he's feeling good.
Yeah. Right.
He's a scary dude right now.
Next question: what is your ultimate goal? And I usually say in jiu-jitsu, but in this world that you're living in right now of this cross between wrestling and jiu-jitsu, what's your ultimate goal here?
So obviously it's like being like, having like being able to like live a good life through like my business. Keep giving people as much free value as possible while also like acclimating wealth in order for me to live like a living, because we're adults.
That's awesome.
And then like if you're talking about like competition wise, like I think I still want to. ADCC is obviously like that would be like the goal. Like if I had to say like, hey, I want to go to this tournament, and I went to trials, didn't do well, went 1-1, lost to Cal Bame
on your first time.
Like,
okay.
Yeah. And so it's like ADCC. Like if I don't really fucking care about IBJJF anymore, I'll go to get reps. But like I would like to go to ADCC. You know, I honestly believe that, like, especially in my weight class, that the more jiu-jitsu I learn, the better my chances are. You know, my weight class in ADCC is very wrestling heavy, and I don't think that there's anyone 99 plus who's even fucking close as to being a good wrestler. You know, but my jiu-jitsu shit right now, so let's level that up before I do anything else. Because no matter how good I am at wrestling, you know, get choked.
Before I ask him the final question, at blue belt to blue belt, have you gone down the judo foot sweep highlight videos on YouTube yet?
Oh my god,
down the rabbit hole.
Oh my gosh,
so many. It's almost toxic.
I was gonna use the P word, but yep, toxic is a great word for it.
Yeah.
And final question. It's actually it's a very hard hitting. This is a very important question. Do you or do you not wash your jiu-jitsu belt?
I do.
There you go. It's okay.
100%. I do.
Yeah. My coach gave me crap the other
Dummies
day
approved.
For washing it?
He's like, why are you doing that?
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Wait,
That's gross.
Adrian?
Yeah.
Because he's a younger
Adrian.
guy. I think
He's 25. Yeah.
More
He
new
believes
school.
in the juju.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to talk to him.
Do you know about? Do you guys talk about that in the gym? The whole
Yeah. They've talked about it before.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that's gross.
What is
about Matt herpes and impetigo?
Like,
yeah. There's
too many ringworm scares.
I was going to ask you, does Chewy wash his belt? But don't answer it, because actually we should probably just try to get Chewy on the show. And do
yeah.
I don't know
He's
if you
too big
met,
for this show.
Drew Phoenix, Andrew Cuthbert. He's friends with
I know
Chewy.
Drew Phoenix.
You know
I
who Drew is?
Phoenix.
Yeah. He's been kind of like a frequent co-host on the show. He's local here.
Cool.
He's a good friend of ours. I know he and Chewy are pretty tight, and Chewy's been down here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that we've ever extended a direct invitation to Chewy. I think I've left it up to Drew. I'm like, hey, tell him next time he's down here, come on the podcast, because he can. He's visited South Florida, and we try
maybe
to get
the Miami
so
Open.
Mention it to him. We'd love to have him.
Yeah, I talk to him like every day, so I'll let him know.
Let
I'll
him
tell
know.
as long as
maybe during the Miami Open, that's down here. I think November,
October.
October.
If he's down, and again, I'll extend the invite to you. If you're ever down this way, if you're ever in South Florida, let us know. Give us a little heads up.
Same.
We love having people. Again, the original format of the podcast was like people coming in because of COVID. We went to Zooms, and then it was just like, oh, well, this is kind of cool because now we're interviewing people outside of our area, and it became a thing. So we do it both ways. We had George Pirro, a retired FBI agent, last week. He was in house.
Yeah, that was nice.
So that was really cool.
After he searched the whole apartment, he was a great guest.
After his security detail came in, and
swept
and then
confiscated all of
swept the place.
Have you ever been down to South Florida? Have you been down to South Florida?
No. I mean, I've been to
at a jiu-jitsu capacity, not at a wrestling capacity.
Just wrestling.
It's really good. It's really good jits down here. So like, yeah, for sure. This is like one of the meccas for sure. It's
we like
New York, South Florida, Texas now, and then obviously like the San Diego, Newport Beach area.
Where I train and where he used to train, we're the next town over from American Top Team HQ. American Top Team HQ. That my sister literally, like, her development she's
but
across the
there's
street
so many.
from
You
where
got the
that is.
Ribeiro brothers
like,
down here.
They're all over the place. You go to watch
Black Zillions down here. You got Stanford MMA, which is now the Killcliff Gym down here. You got 365 Hard Knocks. You got, I mean, there's like a ton.
Did you say Stanford MMA, right?
Well, I said Killcliff because that's what they're called now. But
is that what they're calling it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
They struck a deal. They it's like the seventh time.
Like, this is, I would say, second to, I think people may disagree, but second to Austin, Texas now. Like, this is probably, we're the top maybe 3, 4 when if you're in the Mecca conversation of jiu-jitsu, fight sports down here, American top teams are everywhere.
What are you talking about? You got all the, obviously, like your Gracie Bajas, you got your Kimuras, you got your GF if GFTs aren't around anymore, right?
Yeah, no.
But you also have your Brazilian top team. You have there's like a lot of these big.
And tons of, I mean, there's a competition every. Matter of fact, where Drew's gym is, in the back, he's connected to a larger facility, and there's a basketball court there. And just about once a month, every other week, there's a jiu-jitsu competition in that area.
That's fucking awesome.
So he literally goes to work. His guys go to the back and compete, and they can just basically come back to their mat, and hang out at their gym. So.
That's
so
awesome.
there's just tons of jiu-jitsu down here between the new breeds and then the local Florida stuff. It's just like, it's constant. But anyway, look, if you're ever down here, you got to just let us know.
Yeah, I'll let
so we
you
plan
know.
it out because we do plan out we're like guests are booked out a couple of months sometimes. So if you let us know, we'll make something happen. And he's got to get
100%.
I got to get my permission slips filled out too now for weekends. So so does Miguel. So we got to get the wives okay to it's a non-family day, right?
Yeah, no, I'm okay.
I'm
okay. Like
she's okay
when it comes to this, and then also dude, I mean, I'm pretty sure my coach, my professor would have zero problems with you
coming in.
Yeah, and if it's just you solo, you could totally stay at my crib. Like I got super comfy.
You're just gonna have kids jumping on you, going, "Hey,
you might have that.
Get the tables and chairs."
Oh, dude, my son will not stop wrestling.
All right, listen, we're going to let you go, man. We really appreciate you doing this. Like I said, don't hang up. We're going to come take some pictures. But we really appreciate you doing this, man. Thank you so much.
I wish you nothing but success, sir.
And shout-outs? Do you want to shout out anybody? Any sponsors? Anybody you want to say hello to?
No, I mean, obviously, just shout out to, Patches here at 13 Jiu-Jitsu, the guy I train with now. Shout out to Chewy. He's my mentor. Obviously, I wouldn't be doing half the stuff that I am without him. Shout out to Tom McKenna, the guy who basically adopted me in high school and, helped me go to Lindsay. And shout out to my family and everyone else, but no sponsors really.
None yet.
That's it.
None yet. Standing on the shoulders
brother,
of giants.
Again, appreciate you. Hang on a second, but thank you for joining us.
Thank you to Neutral Zone CBD, a combat family-owned company that supports athletes and the people who love them. Neutral Zone strives to deliver clean CBD products for sports recovery in gummies, lotions, balms, roll-ons, and more. After a competition, a hard rolling session, or a tough day on the job, Neutral Zone has a product designed to help you reduce inflammation, increase cell rejuvenation, and may even help with aging joints. Visit NeutralZoneCBD.com and get 25% off your order with code JJD. And follow them on Instagram too, at MyNeutralZone. Neutral Zone is combat family owned, so they know you need to keep yourself and your equipment clean. They created Neutral Zone Clean wipes and sprays for just that purpose. Neutral Zone products are formulated to reduce the risk of bacterial and fungal infections. Whatever's making you sweat, weight training, rolling on the mats, yard work, or just working around the house, Neutral Zone Clean wipes and sprays can make you feel and smell refreshed. Use code JJD to get 15% off your online order at NeutralZoneClean.com. While you're there, sign up for their newsletter to receive the latest info and updates on product launches like their new shower gel and soap bar coming soon. Are you Neutral Zone Clean? Jiu-Jitsu's favorite monthly subscription box has now joined the Jiu Jitsu Dummies Podcast. The BJJ box is delivered to your door filled with premium jiu-jitsu and grappling apparel, equipment, supplements, supplies, snacks, and more. The crew at the BJJ box find the best in the world of jiu-jitsu and guarantee every box to be worth more than the cost. Each box includes 4 to 7 items you're going to love. Visit thebjjbox.com and use code JJD10 to get $10 off your very first box. And give them a follow on Instagram at thebjjbox. Special thank you to the crew over at Flow and Roll for all their support. Flow and Roll is renowned for their incredible no-gi rash guards, shorts, and leggings. Flow and Roll has quickly become the premier custom apparel provider for academies big and small throughout the United States. Reach out today to discuss your custom order and ask about their incredible pre-order program. You can send an email to flowandroll@gmail.com or visit their Instagram at flow_n_roll and shoot them a direct message. And yes, they can create an awesome custom gi for your academy as well. Visit flowandroll.com to check out their awesome designs, and while you're there, pick up a Jiu Jitsu Dummies signature tee exclusively at flowandroll.com. And remember, you'll get 20% off your purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or gis with code JJD.
That was good.
All right, man. That was awesome, right?
Yeah, I loved it.
You were in your element.
Yeah.
I barely remember
reminiscing
that much about wrestling, the
Yeah.
terminology, the move. I definitely didn't do I didn't wrestle long enough to know the John Wayne sweep or whatever.
That's a jiu-jitsu move.
What did you say that
It's from if you got like half guard and then
it's just the half guard with the okay. What does Felipe call it? I don't even know what you call it.
Lever sweep.
Was it
I
a lever
believe.
sweep?
Yeah, because it's like a lever.
Yeah, but you were definitely in your element, man.
Thanks.
Very good.
Yeah, it was fun.
So let's we're gonna keep it short today. Want to remind everybody, if you purchase anything from any of our sponsors, send us a receipt, let us know, communicate with us, and we're going to put you in the raffle for $250 worth of jiu-jitsu swag. It's coming up. I just approved.
That's it?
The rash guard with phone
Wow.
roll. Waiting for the last mock-ups of like showing it on like different gear.
Uh-huh.
And I think he's going to put it up for pre-order.
Okay.
And then, then from there, we'll get it ordered.
I'm wondering. Oh yeah, it was the leg locker one. I was like, I thought I did a pre-order. What was it?
You did
for?
a pre-order, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
got
for the
that.
leg
That's one of my
locker, yeah.
favorite.
Yeah, it's good.
Those rash guards are incredible. Those phone roll rash guards are amazing.
Yep, they do a really good job.
They last forever. Like they don't get the little.
They don't get
balls.
I like the band on the bottom that keeps it in place.
Yeah.
That one's dope.
My ass is too big. It just pops up anyway.
The stitching is good.
It's an awesome rash guard. If you buy it and don't like it, tell us. I'm not going to do anything for you, but you'd be lying.
Yeah. Well, tell me why you don't like it.
Yeah, tell me why you don't like it. But I mean, from a quality perspective and the fact that it doesn't it doesn't pull. Every other rash guard
look
I have,
cool.
Pulls and gets those little fuzzies.
Yep.
And doesn't wash well. Like it doesn't fade at all.
They look good.
Not at all.
Not even one bit.
All right, so send us proof of purchase, and we'll get you into that raffle. We're actually going to have our Peace Love Jiu-Jitsu rash guard done soon. At very least, it's going to be up on the pre-order, and then we'll have it probably within the next month or so. Check us out at Jiu-Jitsu Dummies for all the ways to watch, listen, and support. Don't forget to share,
like, subscribe,
comment, subscribe wherever you're listening.
all the stuff.
Helps us out. Do all that good stuff. We love you for it.
Yeah.
So I do monitor the at Jiu-Jitsu Dummies handle everywhere, and I'm also Uncle Milty BJJ on Instagram.
That's right. DJJ. No, it's JJD _ DJJ.
He doesn't even remember, Bo.
Bro, you know how to
Go ahead.
Yeah, no,
Do it again?
DJJ. Yeah, I messed it up again.
Yeah.
It's JJD _ DJJ69.
Bo?
At Badworks, BADWERKS.
Is your mic on?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Okay.
It's on.
Dude, it was
I
like,
barely
remember
hear
last time you messed up like your bad works thing like 3 times and not today? You're next. Next episode. What episode is this again?
This was 91.
91. 9 more?
Yeah. Trying to figure out what to do for
Big
for
100.
100. I think I'm going to just, get a group of guys together that have been involved in some way, shape, or form. So
That's dope.
we'll see.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching and listening. Peace, love, jiu-jitsu, baby.